Good. We need to re-zoom in that camera. Home address, question mark. Lost it soon. More. Stop. Back a little. A little bit more. There you go. That's good.
It's just ice cream. All right, we are on the air. We are back on the air. We were on the air, and sometimes when something happens, it's bad stuff, and we lost all of the power here at the Gopher Warrior Bowl. Javi, we've got just a few minutes, but I wanted to talk to you about the broadcast team and some of the new equipment. You were instrumental in getting some of these new instruments.
I was. And by the way, I'm going to blame that power outage on the Amazon second rocket launch in West Texas for no other reason other than that, it sounds fun. But thanks, Richie. I don't know about instrumental, but I know that the All-State Foundation is intent on helping organizations like ours, especially, organizations that empower the students and youth. And so we started this project actually 3 months ago. And what it was is just a grant from the All-State Foundation by way of the Pope Dad's Club, which you and I served and maybe still on the roster at this point.
Probably so.
But the short of it is we were able to get some funds to update and better the team's, capabilities, save a power outage. But we're really proud to have been able to do that. And, I hope that in future shows we can have some of the other people that participated in this. But thanks for mentioning that. But that's exactly, that's basically how it happened. It's just an opportunity that we took advantage of.
And Javi, real quick, it's when we have a broadcast team here, there's oftentimes 5, 6, 7 of us in the booth, and we run off of a computer. We've got, we've got binoculars and stuff like that. But we've got headsets. We've got what do you call that? A mixer or whatever that makes sure that everything sounds good. It takes a lot to make my voice sound good for radio or for a live stream. So those are different things. What are just a few of the things that we were able to purchase with that?
Headsets for sure, and then some of the peripherals, some of the tiny stuff. Just a new computer just to run the whole show for Mr. Ryan, our producer. So just an upgrade of the whole system, and we hope to be able to do this in 22 again.
Now this is an away game. There's not quite as much for us to do, but at a typical home game, what are some of the things that we do for the football team?
Oh my gosh! Well, we spend the whole week just preparing the pre and halftime show, plus the official pregame show by Mr. Bill, who's going to do the play-by-play. And then we're all there 2 or more hours before setting up. And so there's a lot that goes into what we're doing today.
And it's not only is it the football team, we do announce the football team, we do the play-by-play, there's a color commentary. Jay Ryan, who's the executive producer of all this, when we're at home, also does the PA. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, Javi, you oftentimes will announce the Vikings. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we will announce cheerleaders or homecoming or something like that. There are people who come up for the band. And so oftentimes we get focused on the football team, but there are so many other students that are active at a football game.
Exactly. There's band, drill team, cheer. There's so many other moving parts to any given game, especially at home. And we're proud to represent any of them any way we can and tell a story, for people who are listening to this virtually or online.
Excellent. Javier, thank you very much. We appreciate what you've done for this year, and we appreciate what you do up in the booth as well. Tonight, I'm going to kind of reset just a little bit. We are at the Gopher Warrior Bowl. and I'm going to be joined by Bill Frawley here in just a few minutes. We're at the Gopher Warrior Bowl. The game tonight is between the Lamar Vikings and the GrandPrairie Gophers. We had a power outage earlier. I think we're all set up. I don't know if we're going to start exactly on time, but it shows about 11 minutes to game time. Bill, how are you this evening?
Doing great, and good evening, football fans, and welcome to this broadcast of Lamar Vikings Varsity Football, brought to you by the Lamar Vikings Football Booster Club. I'm Bill Frawley. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play tonight, and along with me under a headset is Richie Sherrod, who you've been listening to for a few moments, along with Javi Najera. Richie will be doing the color commentary. Also in our booth, executive producer Jay Ryan, Steve Langford, Javi, and Tim Perry. It is a clear, darn near cloudless sky at the Gopher Warrior Bowl with no rain forecasted. Game time temperatures in the mid-70s, so heat won't be a factor. The stadium, named for the two teams that share it, the GrandPrairie Gophers and the South GrandPrairie Warriors, is a literal bowl, but not much space on the sidelines. And in fact, the walls almost touch the corners of the end zones. And while most football fields are laid out north to south, so no one has their eyes in the sun, this one is laid out southwest to northeast. The sun has gone down now, but earlier in the season, if you're going right to left as we're looking at it, you're looking into the sun for sure. So, Richie, how are you doing tonight?
I'm well. I've recovered from last week and ready to go for this week. Looking forward to the opportunity to do a little color commentating with you this evening.
Well, excited about it. You know, last night you and I and Steve, Jay was up there for a little while. We watched Lamar's JV squad take on the Gophers JV team, and I sure hope that last night's Lamar JV victory is a sign of what is in store for tonight. The Vikings won that game 44-16, and that's with missing a few two-point conversions. They were looking like they might hang half 100 on them there at one point.
Matter of fact, they could have. Coach at the very end of the game actually kneeled down and took the last minute and a half off the clock. Probably the gentlemanly thing to do when you're ahead by that much.
Now, Coach didn't actually kneel down.
Well, he didn't. No. Quarterback came in and did kneel down. Coach, yeah. I'm sure, told him to do that.
Devin Rovell took those knees at the end, but no, I love playing with words because I, of course, never say anything that's not 100% accurate or well-spoken. So, no, but it was a great game, and if we have time, we might talk about a few highlights of that. But, man, that shows some really good things coming up the pipeline for the Viking program, because the JV team has done well overall, but they've had their struggles. But they sure had a great offensive outburst and a good defensive stand last night. Now, back to the varsity team. The Vikings are going to enter the Gopher Warrior Bowl here tonight with a record of 1-5. Now, that sounds kind of horrible until you realize a few things, Richie. Number one, I've only got 5, by the way, for the people counting at home. Number one, the Vikings played a very tough pre-district schedule.
Yes.
Playoff teams all the way around. Number 2, remove the slow starting first quarters in at least a couple of those games, and you might have a couple more Viking victories.
Agreed.
Number 3, this is one of the physically smallest Viking teams that I can remember in 28 years of living in the shadows of Cravens Field almost.
Bill, a lot of times when, we get rosters from every team, the visiting teams, and a lot of times they will share with us the height and weight of some of their players. And there are times we look through there and, man, some of our guys are being outweighed by 50 pounds.
Or 100.
Yeah, absolutely. So, physically smaller and facing very difficult opponents.
Definitely so. All right, number 4. This team has showed VFND spirit throughout the season, even in the toughest situations when they're down in the scoreboard, making mistakes, whatever it is. They have never given up, and they have always been supportive of each other. And I'll go into more detail a little bit on that one.
Agreed.
Number 5, the Vikings are 1-1 in district play, which is what determines who goes to the playoffs. So great learning experiences in those pre-district games, but they're even 500. And, Richie, you and I were just kind of talking before we went on the air a little while ago. Lamar kind of is in its own driver's seat, if you will. Mm-hmm. They played the toughest team already. Martin got shut out. Okay, good. whatever.
It's still
that's
just
the
one loss.
Exactly right. So kind of you may not even have to win out, but definitely win. Only get one more loss, and you're going to be in good shape for hopefully at least that number 4 playoff spot, which again, considering everything that's going on, that would be a wonderful thing to happen.
So I'm going to approach this similar to the way in which we've talked about tonight. We started off just a few minutes ago talking about the JV team, and now we're talking about the varsity team. What Coach Skinner is doing here is he is building a football program. He's got the coaching staff in place. He's got, the players that he wants to have. Now it's a matter of getting those players to buy in and do what he's asking them to do. And that doesn't happen overnight. It takes weeks to do that. And so hopefully what we're doing as a team here is we're building up to what Skinner wants them to do as far as a week in and week out team.
You're exactly right. And, they are buying into Coach Skinner's program and processes overall. And I'm going to tell you some of the evidence of that, which has been confirmed by Coach Skinner when we do the weekly coaches show, which you can tune into by going to Lamar Nation or LamarVikings.com. Click on Coaches Show. They're all archived. We put them on usually Sunday night or Monday. But one of the things he's saying is that teammates have continually supported each other through every success and every missed opportunity. That's how I'm going to say that. Not to put it in, or to put it in the most minimal kind of negative connotation, if you will. But multiple times, Richie, we've seen quarterback Jaden Morris on the sidelines at JV games at Cravens on Thursday night, talking to and encouraging the players, mentoring, sharing. So it's a systemic thing that's going on.
It's, I hate to use the word contagious in the time of a pandemic, but, it is contagious. You have a coach that we see him week in and week out at the freshman games, at the JV games. Man, Bill, sometimes he's out there watching some of the junior high teams that are playing because he's saying, look, you guys are future Vikings. I want you to see who I am so that when you become a Viking, you're looking up to me and say, that's the guy I want to play for. And so it is. And you see buy-in from the coach. You have a quarterback that's here trying to get here before anybody else to get into practice and things. That kind of stuff, people follow that.
That quarterback is almost an assistant coach at Skinner at times. But you're exactly right. And he does go to those junior high games. And, in fact, one time on a Tuesday night I said we were delayed in getting the coaches show recorded. How about Tuesday night, Coach? He goes, nope. I'll be at junior high games watching Shaq and Nichols and stuff. I'm going to cut into our stuff here just for a moment.
Sure.
The captains on the field are at midfield for the coin toss. The officials are explaining heads and tails to them. It's probably a commemorative type coin. And we'll get some captains' numbers to you when we get a chance. For the Gophers, some of the captains, number 1, Adrian Wilson, looks like 67, I believe.
Yep.
Which would be George Vataki. Now, for the Vikings, well, I'll get those in a minute. The Vikings have won the toss, so they've deferred their choice to the second half. The Gophers are going to receive defending the southwest end zone, moving left to right, which is most important to know. So,
Bill, can you get if you'll get those Vikings captains, I'll let you know the Gopher captains were Adrian Wilson. It's Alex Torres, number 5, number 64, Genesis Malafu. I'm going to say that wrong a few times tonight. And then George Vatase.
And so what I believe we had was number 2, Dalen Rogers, number 33, Amarian Fox, number 58, Jay Brown, and I think it was number 30. I already had number 33. Probably was number 9, Jaden Morris.
Yep.
The Vikings are now coming out onto the field, led by Thor.
Yes.
Who is Hayden James.
It's nice to have Thor back.
He was a young guy. Oh, it is. And then Thor Core, of course. And then the players are coming onto the field. So getting back to what we were talking about, though, with everyone buying into it and everything, it's really building up his program. He played at Lamar. He was a assistant, got up to defensive coordinator before he did his 1 year over at Irving MacArthur as a head coach and came back home, and so it's great. Coming into tonight's game, though, the Gophers are 4-3 overall, which sounds like, oh, wow, they got 4 wins, we only have 1. They're also 3-0 in district play. Mm-hmm. Their first game was a 67-6 win over South Garland. The reason I point that out, Richie, if you take out that data outlier, as we say in the research world where I work kind of on my main job of
Sure.
2 or 3 that I have. You have an average margin of 8 points in the rest of their games. Okay?
Wow.
They're averaging 30.5 points per game on offense and giving up 22.5 per game on defense. My main point here is if the Vikings can get off to the good, quick start that they need, then we have a chance to put the Gopher defense on its heels. Now, we're about to pause for a moment because they're bringing the colors out onto the field, and we're going to be having the national anthem. I'm going to turn down our mics and see if we can catch any of the sound for that.
Bill, note that you can't, but note that
All right.
Well, there was the national anthem. We turned our mic, ambient mic up as loud as we could. Hopefully you caught some of that from the GrandPrairie Gopher Band. All right, so when you look at that margin, though, and my point was if the Vikings can get off to a good offensive start as well as defensively, they can put the Gophers on their heels. But in the same way, the Viking defense has got to keep the Gophers out of the end zone early and not get behind early in the game as a starting point.
I think both of us are of the same mindset. Let's get a good start. A tale of 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks. Now, you can make the case, hey, Bowie may not be a super great team, and Martin's a really good football team. However, you can't worry about who you're playing. You've got to worry about you. And the best thing that Lamar can do is to get out, score, and put them in a position where they've got to keep up with you.
Sounds good. Well, they're teeing up the ball. Blake Ford's going to be kicking off right to left. Richie, I've got some new trifocals glasses. I'll be doing my best, but I'm still getting used to where there's not a line. I've never had even bifocals before, but we've got excellent spotters up here. Ball has fallen off the tee. Now, if you are watching, what you're seeing on your screen, our camera, the lone camera, is fixed on the scoreboard, which has a video board on it. It'll be showing action and probably some replays and stuff. The Gophers, they have almost 700 yards through the air so far this season, 1,600 on the ground. So you're going to have their hands full. The defense will. That kick is going to go into and out of the end zone. Blake Ford kicks that thing into the wind, mind you. Let's see, 65 yards or so in the air. But the leading rusher who we're about to see for the Gophers is number 10, senior Drew Damper. He's got about 655 yards this season out of the 1,600. The next leading rusher is the senior quarterback wearing number 0, Savion Red, with 606 yards. And then sophomore Stephon Pennington is wearing number 14. He's the third leading rusher with just under 200. The Viking defensive line linebackers are going to have to keep their eye on both the quarterback and that leading running back. So coming out into a spread formation, 3 receivers, trips to the left, 1 to the right, empty set in the backfield. And right away, the officials are going to talk about something. Oh, the Gophers have requested the ball be put on the right hash mark, opening up that left side where they've got 3 receivers out.
Looks like the Vikings may be in a zone defense. Just guessing because you only have.
Okay, there's a snap. It's given to the right receiver. When in motion, he's across the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, moving
Gracious.
around. He'll finally
Yep.
get tackled inside the 30-yard line. And the lead on that tackle was number 33, Amarian Fox.
They're a fast team. They're quick. And once again, you want to put the football into the people, the playmakers. And, boy, right off the bat, right off tackle,
That
in
was
motion.
a 47-yard gain on that initial run. Now they go into a set with twins to the right, single to the left, pistol formation. Here's the snap. It's a zone read, handoff. He's caught in the
Now,
backfield
nice.
for a loss back to the 34-yard line. So now they're going to say they're giving him forward progress up to the 31-yard line. Wow.
Still a loss of 2. Go ahead.
Number 18, Deshaun Wells, led the tackle. Now, I guess what they're saying is any of that backwards motion was not him turning around on his own, but he was met in the backfield by Deshaun Wells.
Loss of 2. That was read very quickly and right up the middle.
So that'll bring up second down and between 12, it looks like 13. They've not moved the yardstick. There's a low snap. The quarterback's going to keep it. He goes across the 20 down to the 15-yard line where he'll be tackled.
Looks like at the 12-yard line.
Braylon Cole and Eric Olivares teamed up for the tackle. Eric Olivares, one of our also baseball players. And that was right up the middle, keeper by the quarterback.
I think that was going to be a quarterback keep all the way. The snap was a little bit low and had a good block and simply split the defense.
Trips to the left, single to the right, empty set in the backfield. Now the receiver goes in motion again, fake handoff, keeper on the quarterback to the right side across the 10, gets pushed out of bounds at about the 5-yard line by number 33. And again, that will be Amarian Fox.
Similar formation to the very first play, fake the handoff on this one, and the Vikings really didn't bite. He did get outside, but could have been a much larger gain than what it was.
Sione Teohema applied pressure in the backfield, almost had him, but he squeezed out of that before Fox got him out of bounds at about the 6-yard line officially.
Tehema was a big name. He was all over the place last week.
Second down and 4. Single left, single right. There's a loose ball on the ground. On the handoff, it was a bad exchange, and it looks like the Vikings
Lamar
have
has
it,
it.
and they do. I'm trying to see who
Nice.
came up with the ball.
26?
I don't know. I didn't even see who came up with the ball.
Is that 26 or 25? He just threw the
Well, let's see. And I'm going to say it's 25 then. 26, Braylon Cole, because 25 is Javion Green, a running back.
Yep.
Well, a huge turnover for the Vikings right there because the Gophers were pretty much driving the ball downfield at will, but the exchange for the handoff is what did it. Well, the Vikings come out, twins to the right, single to the left. Now we got a slot receiver in motion coming across. He'll stop. Morris rolls to the right on a bootleg, throws across the middle, and it's incomplete. It was intended for number 19, Jalen Humbles, the sophomore, who is a pretty good receiver. He's also a baseball player.
He's been coming into play the last few weeks. They're trying to get him the ball a little bit more. I'm a little surprised not a running play. Get that running game going a little bit early.
All right, second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. We're coming out with 3 receivers to the right. Morris in the pistol with a running back behind him. Will catch his number in a moment. Here's the snap. Handoff straight up the middle. It's LaRon Hewlett, number 5. Yep. He'll get out to about the 17, 18-yard line. Tackled by number 11, Miles Johnson for the Gophers. Ball's at the 18-yard line, and it looks to be third down and
4.
Well, I think
long 4.
Yeah, third down and 4.
Once again, I think
don't ask me. I've got trifocals on.
Well, I got 2 different contacts in.
Trips to the right. Hewlett in the backfield. Now the slot receiver comes into the backfield as well. Here's the snap.
That was a wildcat.
It is a wildcat, and he gets pulled out of bounds, and he got tackled out of bounds, pulled down.
Number 5.
Looks like. Are they calling it out at the 20? They're going to be just short. They're going to be just short. They say that he stepped out at the 20-yard line.
So Derek Bledsoe was the one who took the Wildcat snap.
Mm-hmm.
He had 3 running backs back there. I didn't see Morris, actually.
I did not either. That's a little wrinkle. I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah. So Blake Ford will come out in punt formation. And the Grand Prairie Gopher to return is standing on his own 40-yard line. We'll get his name and number in a moment. Here's the snap. Kick is up. It's kind of a high, not as deep of a kick as sometimes, and it goes out of bounds around the 40-yard line. The ball actually bounced up into the stands. And let's see where they're going to say. The official says the 45-yard line is where it crossed the sidelines.
All-American Blake Ford.
Yeah, I've seen him ranked as high as number 5 in place kicking. That was a 25-yard punt into the wind, and a little bit of a shank there toward the sideline by Blake Ford. Usually a little bit more dependable than that, but everyone has their times for this and that. So the Gophers come out 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Single receiver to the left, one to the right, one in the backfield with the quarterback. Red.
Red is in at quarterback.
The Vikings have 4 on the line. Here's the snap. It's a handoff. He's going to come this way, stringing it out across 45, 50, finally pushed out of bounds by Dalen Rogers.
At the 47.
Gain of 8. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. Very simple handoff play, and he's such a quick player. You've almost got to beat him to the outside to make sure to contain him.
Boy, these numbers are not the easiest to read. They're very thick lines, not much space between them on the Gophers jerseys. They come out with twins to the left, single to the right. The pistol formation, one running back behind the quarterback, Savion Red. Showing corner blitz, they pull back, handoff. He's going to bring it this way again across 45-40, 35-30. Breaks some tackles, and he finally gets pulled down at about the 16-yard line. Dalen Rogers made the tackle, and it's number 16, the ball carrier, Kelton Moore, if we have that right. I'm thinking it might have been number 14, but. Well, again, the Gophers are moving downfield quickly on another drive. Maybe we can get another turnover. It's 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Now they come out with 3 receivers left, 1 right, empty set in the backfield.
We've seen this formation a few times before.
The receiver goes in motion. He's got pressure, and he'll be sacked. Well, finally gets sacked. The official had to move out of the way. Man, coming on that corner blitz or safety blitz was number 34, Cooper Barnard. Richie, Cooper Barnard's a sophomore.
Wow.
And he started last year as a freshman on the varsity baseball team.
Wow.
His nickname since childhood is Sunshine. So he has got he has one of the best ever walk-up songs in baseball history. Sunshine, Lollipops, and Rainbows.
Well, let me tell you, the quarterback wasn't thinking sunshine when he saw him
no,
right in his face
wasn't.
right there.
So 2nd down and 17. Twins to the right, single left, one in the backfield. Here's the snap. Quarterback keeper over the A-gap on the left side. He'll be tackled at about the 21-yard line.
The defense forced him inside just a little bit, not quite as much running room right there.
Peyton Kelly, the defender, we call his name a lot every
do.
game, and he was in on the tackle for that. This brings up 3rd down and about 15 yards to go. Big 3rd down here for the Viking defense.
This is really one of those, I mean, this is an obvious statement, but this is one you really want to hold. It's a 3rd and really long. Keep him out of getting that 1st down.
Here's the snap, man in motion. He fakes to him straight up the middle. The quarterback keeper. He's only going to get about 4 yards. Teohume lost his helmet for the Vikings. He'll come off the field anyway. Now there's a penalty flag thrown well after the play was over. I can't see who in that scrum did something wrong, saying or pushing or shoving.
Looks like someone had to have said something, but I'm not sure which side. Officials are talking about it right now. Well short of the 1st down. It's going to be 4th down. Not sure what their kicking situation is, but from where it is right now.
Amarian Fox made the tackle. They're moving 50. It's a personal foul, dead ball against the Gophers. So I think when someone was getting up out of that pile, he must have shoved or pushed off or something because it was not like a fight breaking out or anything standing up. The 15-yard penalty puts the ball all the way back at the 33-yard line. I doubt they have a 50-yard kicker.
Yeah, I don't think so. And, the wind is so odd. We've talked about it before. This is a bowl stadium. And really the challenging thing is you've got to actually aim a little bit for the left upright to make that go through. Because the wind is inside the bowl. Looks like it's kind of going north
it's crossing
to south.
a little bit, yeah. Well, they show that they're going to go for it. They've got
Yep.
twins left and twins right. And a pistol formation. Here's a snap.
Back to pass.
He steps back. He throws deep toward the end zone. There's a lot of defenders down there. And the ball is well short.
Well short.
There was a lot of activity and pushing kind of down there. But I think
Bill, that ball wasn't catchable, was it?
It was not catchable.
No.
So, number one, they're not going to throw the flag for that. Number two, now there's a dead ball foul. Again, this time it looks like it's going to be against the Vikings. That is just ridiculous. If one of the Vikings turned around and mouthed off, and that's what it looks like for now. I hope that's not the case. Yep, and they're pointing towards Lamar. Well, that's ridiculous because now that's going to give them – well, except it's after the play. That was fourth down, so it should be – and it is Viking football still, but my goodness, just don't do that stuff. That's 15 yards when you're already back, deep in your own territory.
And really, I don't want to say that Lamar has gotten lucky because the defense has stepped up. You got a turnover and you've got to stop on fourth down, but don't risk those things.
No, you've got to be smarter than that.
They've, the Gophers have done really, really well between the 20s, and Lamar has picked up the defense. Boy. Defense, the Lamar defense is on the field.
No, that'll be the offense.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was after the fourth down conversion didn't work.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, they were in an alignment. It looked much more like a defensive
it did.
Setup. Okay.
Now I'm struggling. Is that number 9? Yeah, wait, a quarterback? It's hard to read okay, trifocals, that's all I'm going to say.
Well, just so you know, and Lamar is wearing all whites tonight, gold helmets and blue and gold letters. The Gophers are wearing all blue.
The Vikings come out, trips to the left, now man in motion, going across. That's Bledsoe. He's in the backfield. He'll take the handoff, big hole up the middle on the right side. He'll twist and turn into the spin cycle, gets out to the 30-yard line, and that'll be a first down on the first play of this drive.
Nice handoff, and that was a huge hole. You could have driven a truck through that.
That, literally, I think my old pickup would fit through there. A lot of times people will say that kind of as a cliche, but literally that was at least 8 feet wide.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So 12 yards on that play by Bledsoe, who came out of a slot receiver position and took the handoff around the left gap on the far side. Single to the left, twins left, single right. Here's a snap. Handoff to LaRon Hewlett. He'll find a way through the right tackle area, and he'll get up to about the 39-yard line, which is about an 8-yard gain.
2 really nice runs, and we didn't get a chance to talk all about this. If Lamar can get that running game going, I think they are so much better when they can throw in an ancillary way.
I think you're correct that way, too. All right, twins to the left, single to the right, one in the backfield.
Single
Here's
coverage
a
up
snap.
top if you want to throw
Fake
it.
handoff.
There's your throw.
Morse throws across the middle. Is complete to the 45-yard line. First down, and that will be, of course, Brendan Bias with that catch coming across the middle.
No safety help, and Bias was on a one-on-one condition. As soon as he made that cut on that post pattern, Morris threw a beautiful ball to get that to him.
17-yard gain to the 43-yard line. The Vikings now in Gopher territory, not meaning they're underground on their half of the field. Twins to the right, single to the left. Pistol formation for Morris. LaRon Hewlett, I believe, behind him. Here comes a man in motion across to this side in a tight end spot. Morris rolls out. It's a pass is complete to number 11 at the 40 to the 35-yard line.
They're going to give it to him. First down.
Jalen McCoy, our second leading receiver, I believe, this season. He'll get just to where the line to make is. That's the 33-yard line, and that's good for another Lamar Viking. First down.
The defender had him short by about 1.5 yards, 2 yards, and he was able to walk the sideline and pick up the first down.
Here's a snap. Fake handoff to Hewlett. Brendan Bias catches it in the backfield across the 30. He moves again, 25, and he finally gets pulled out of bounds at about the 23-yard line by number 11, Miles Johnson.
That's the 23-yard line. That's close to another first down. 9? Okay.
It's right on it. It's 10-yard
first down.
gain. Exactly where they need to be. First and 10 now for the Vikings. They're moving the ball at will here at the 23-yard line, threatening to get the first points on the board tonight.
Making those defenders move in
Twins to the right, single to the left. Hewlett behind Morris in the pistol formation. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Hewlett. He'll go around the right tackle. Fumble, ball's on the ground, and it's going to be picked up by the Gophers at about the – no, he must have lost it. Let's see what the officials say, because at one point – yeah, number 12 for GrandPrairie had it. Thank you, Javi.
Lost to the 31.
Wow, the Vikings are fortunate to get that back.
6-yard loss.
Boy, yeah, very fortunate, because GrandPrairie had that ball and it just squirted out.
8-yard loss back to
loss.
the 31-yard line from the 23. And that brings up second down and 18. What do we have here that we draw up on a second 18, Richie?
Well, I think you've got a great kicker, and I think what you do is you continue to run the ball here.
All right,
you've been successful.
Twins
with it.
left, single right, one in the backfield to the left of Morris. Here's the snap. Fake handoff over the middle. Pass is caught, and it will be down inside the 15-yard line.
Wow.
The pass was caught
by
number 8.
Yep, just short.
That's interesting. Sione Teohema came in. He's usually on the defense, but he came in and made that nice grab over the middle. It's third down and about 1.5 yards to go. Trips left, single right, empty set in the backfield. And that's going to be offsides. It's a free play for the Vikings. And they throw to the corner of the end zone where there was one-on-one coverage, but that 5-yard penalty against the defense is going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
Boy, things don't look very good at second.
First and goal.
Things don't look great at 2nd and 18, but when you pick up 16 yards on one play, and then you get the nice and easy offsides call, looks a whole lot better, doesn't it?
It definitely does.
They're inside the 10-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and goal Vikings.
1st and goal, just with the nose of the ball at the 9-yard line. So Teohema, who's usually on defense, is the wide receiver to the right. Twins to the left. LaRon Hewlett is in the backfield as the running back to the left of Morris. Now there's some confusion as to what's going on. They're having a little bit of trouble with the folks running the game clock, getting it started when the officials ask for it. Here's a snap. Hewlett will take the handoff over the left guard. He twists and turns in the spin cycle inside the 5-yard line. They're going to give him forward progress to about the 4-yard line.
5-yard gain? 5-yard gain, and that was a hard-earned 5 yards.
Yes, indeed, Richie. He was driving those legs, twisting and turning. Hurry-up offense sort of type thing for
if you hurry, you
snap
can get
that
him
ball,
off
you can get him off sides, but he got off sides in time. The Gopher guy trying to get off the field. Here's a snap. Hewlett again. Oh, he goes over the left guard, and then he just tucks and dives up to the 1-yard line. So 3rd and goal at the 1.
Number 7 took him out at the knees, and had he not, that was going to be a walk-in touchdown.
Because he had a pretty open lane right there. And, Rich, that's just incredible. We're up here. We can see where all the openings and stuff are. But the quarterback, the running backs, to be able to guide and see, okay, where can I have an opening to crease? So 3rd down and 1 for the Vikings. They're going to put 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Hewlett, again, behind Morris in the pistol formation. Here's a snap. Handoff for Hewlett. He pushes and drives in the scrum.
Waiting for that call.
He is right around the goal line waiting to see if he broke the plane or not.
Give it to him. Come on.
And a signal touchdown for the Vikings. So they actually end up scoring first on their second offensive possession of the game after darn near turning it over on that fumble, which led to the 2nd and 18. But my goodness, VFND.
VFND. And again, I'm gonna reiterate this and say it again. Boy, if they can establish the run, if they can get Hewlett going, if they can get Morris running, I mean,
Javion Green,
yeah. Hey, you're gonna do really, really well with
that.
Here
comes the Randall Mill Pharmacy point after attempt by Blake Ford. Let's see if his prescription is filled. A little bit of a bobble by the holder, but it is good. And just like that, your new score, Lamar 7, GrandPrairie 0. Richie, what do you have for the scoring drive there?
11 plays, and what a balance. You've got 5 running plays, 6 running plays, 5 pass plays, 82 total yards, 4 first downs, and a really nice drive all the way down the field.
Definitely. If you hear any kind of background odd noise, the booth that we are in has the speaker wired up with the scoreboard advertisements and some of the announcements, and it is coming on very loud. We don't have a sound control in our booth itself. Hopefully it's not really catching through our microphones that much.
Javier is a really good singer, but that is not him singing in the background.
Do you do a lot of singing, Richie?
Only in the shower.
How about driving by yourself in the car?
Okay, absolutely.
With the radio?
Absolutely.
Awesome. 80s music?
80s music.
Yes. Maybe a little classic country once in a while?
A little bit.
All right, there we go.
A little Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Is that two? That's not
no,
two.
Merle Haggard.
Merle Haggard, of course.
Oh, yeah, Waylon Jennings, all the real classic pre-mid-80s, I think we can go there.
No doubt.
All right, number 12 is deep for the GrandPrairie Gophers. That is Keithon Davis. Blake Ford, of course, teeing it up for the Vikings at the 40-yard line.
Blake Ford with the beautiful gold shoes.
True that. We've actually got two deep for the Gophers. I'll catch the other one if I can. It's a low kick, but it's powerful, and it's going to bounce. Oh, he picks it up 1 yard deep. Comes out to the 5, the 10, 15, 20, 25. He's still bouncing around. He'll come out to about the 32-yard line. That was number 10, Drew Damper, who brought the ball out. He let it hit the ground. He rolled. He picked it up about 1 yard deep in the end zone. Thought he might take a knee, but about a 32-yard return. It looks like they're going to put it at the 31-yard line, so better than the touchback or fair catch because they picked up 6 yards net on that.
Yep. That's one of those that the coach probably says, dude, what are you doing? But he says, Coach, I got to the 31 instead of the 25.
Yeah. All right, so the Gophers will come out their third offensive drive of the game. First one ended up in a turnover. Second one ended up in a turnover on downs. Fourth down not converted. There's a snap. It looked like offsides. No flag thrown. Handoff comes around the right side across 40, 45, 50 into Viking territory. The handoff went to number 1, Adrian Wilson. Number 33 made the tackle, Marion Fox. We've already called his name quite a few times.
Yes.
And, Rich, you got to tell you, I've mentioned this before times. When I'm at the visitor games and we're not doing a broadcast, I enjoy going out and meeting some of the family. Some of them have their kids' names on the shirts. I got to visit with the Foxes, and they're just a delight to talk with them and talk about, both of their sons playing and nephew. They had a whole bunch of relatives there. But, all right, trips to the left, no one to the right, one in the backfield with the quarterback.
Looks like the Vikings are in a man defense
Here's a snap.
right here.
It's a zone read handoff over the right side, but he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to say that's all he got was back to the line of scrimmage.
That's it. No gain on the play.
And that was Adrian Wilson that took the handoff.
The Gophers seem to be using a primary formation of trips to the left and a single, and they put that single in motion coming across. And it looks like a lot of their offense is coming off that exact same
formation. Second down and 10, twins left, single right, pistol formation. Tight end on this side, offset from the line. Here's a snap. Handoff to number 14. He is captured in the backfield. And that's going to be Peyton Kelly who does that one.
We've said his name a few times, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. And another family that I got to meet at one of the games, Peyton Kelly loved visiting with his mom and dad. And what a great player. I think they had some relatives listening. And, Richie, we have people all over the country listening to these broadcasts. We even have an international audience. We have a Viking fan named Lisa up in Winnipeg that tunes into these games. So, hello, eh?
Hello.
All right. Third down and call Uber at the 15. No, it's only 3rd and 15 at the 50-yard line.
Bonjour in Winnipeg, isn't it?
No, they speak English there.
They speak English?
Twins right. Here's the zone read. Now the quarterback has it. He's got pressure.
Nice.
He's going to go down behind the 45-yard line, and that is a huge sack. And they're going to put it at the 42-yard line, it looks like.
Is that Kelly again?
33.
That's Amarian Fox this time. All the way back to the 42-yard line.
Wow.
And so now it brings up 4th down and 22. Richie, this is what the defense needed to do.
It is.
And they've done it on the first ones, but now 2 losses in a row.
0 to kick.
So the quarterback, Savion Red, also does the punting apparently because he's out there in punt formation. And it looks like we have – is that LaRon Hewlett, number 5?
Is that 5? I think that's 5 deep.
I think it's 5.
Number 1's been a quarterback, though. I guess they switched, but this is 0.
All right, here's the snap. It's kind of a high snap.
Oh, just
he
got
kicks
it away.
It's not a deep kick.
11.
No fair catch
think
called.
got
He
it.
muffs it, and I'm going to say it looks like a Viking rolled onto it,
Yes.
and he did, and that is number 22. Thank goodness.
Oh, boy. That's
Eric Olivares was, well, not Johnny on the spot. He was Eric on the spot. But, he's a baseball player, so he was going after that ground ball and scooped it up.
nice. And once again, you're just barely averting disaster there. 2 fumbles, both of them you're able to recover them. Clean that up a little bit.
Definitely. All right.
Boy, the defense,
About a 20
goodness gracious,
a 20
2 straight plays were in the backfield.
22-yard punt, I believe is what I heard our wonderful spotter saying. 1st and 10 at our own 38-yard line for the Vikings. Here's a snap. Handoff to Hewlett right up the center, basically. He'll get up to the 45-yard line before he's pushed backwards, but they're going to give him 7 yards
Wow.
to the 45-yard line. And he
Pound.
never actually went down, I don't think.
No, pound that football.
And that's the end of the first quarter with the score. Lamar 7, Grand Prairie 0. Richie, what do you got for first quarter observations from your perspective?
Well, defense. Last week you were able to hold Martin 0-0. And so the first quarter defense has been really, really good tonight. Grand Prairie's moved the ball within the 20s. Lamar has held. I tell you what, that last series was absolutely incredible by Lamar. They spent more time in the backfield than the running back from the Gophers did. So if they're ready to play like that tonight, hey, come on, let's go.
You know what this reminds me of, Richie? There was a game last Saturday night in College Station. The Aggies played number 1 Alabama.
There is one reason this is being brought up.
And they got off to a quick start out of Alabama, kind of like Lamar's getting off to a quick start. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Right now, I bet. What anyone else want to take a bet on the over/under of how many times A&M's going to be brought up tonight? Anyone? 5? All right.
I wouldn't have said those out loud.
I'm taking the over.
Hewlett takes the handoff straight
What
up
a
the middle,
play.
across the 50, 45, and he'll go all the way down to the 40-yard line. Folks, that's going to be a 15-yard gain, and that's the Lamar Viking first down, and they are moving into, and it's a hurry-up offense, trips to the right. Hewlett in the backfield to the right of Morse, nobody to the left. He throws to the flat this side. Brendan Bias, he's across the 40, 45. Good block by Bledsoe. He gets across the 25-yard line. This is, again,
that's a 20-yard gain right there. 15-yard gain again.
You don't always think of receivers as being big blockers, but Bledsoe right there made an incredible block for his teammate, Brandon Bias.
That picked up a first down, and that probably picked up another 8 to 10 yards just on that block.
Oh, they're down. That was 18 yards down to the 22-yard line because they started at the 40.
Sure.
So 1st and 10 at the 22. The Vikings' offense is moving. Twins left, single right. Hewlett to the right of Morris. Write it down. Morris throws across the middle. Oh, there was a little bit and they are going to throw the flag. I thought the defender had a little bit of Brandon Bias's jersey, and they're going to call interference, and that will probably, I guess from here it'll be, it's either, well, no, inside the 20 if it's going to be half the distance or at the spot, but it's an automatic first down for sure. As we wait to see it officially. It's going to call defensive holding, not interference, which that makes sense. He did grasp his jersey. Either way, automatic first down. That will move the ball 10 yards to the 12-yard line. Number 9 drew that penalty. That is Simon Jackson of the Gophers. Now 1st and 10 at the 12. Twins to the right, single to the left. Hewlett to the left of Morris. Here's a snap. Hewlett around the right side across the 10. I think he was down. The ball came loose. I thought he was down, but maybe not.
Let's see what they call here. Oh, goodness gracious. They're calling it.
Wow, I thought he hit the ground and the ball came loose.
I did too.
There was recovered by number 11, Miles Johnson. We've called his name a few times already for the Gophers. Wow, look at
on the
just
replay.
Looking at the replay board,
Yeah,
he was
definitely
completely down. His knees hit the ground, and the ball came out.
You know, he was trying to dive for a few extra yards and just fell, and we would say ground caused the fumble on that.
Yeah, there's no if we had video replay, that would have to be overruled and said no, he was down, but they don't do that, and unfortunately, the officials blew that one big time, and that's too bad. There's plenty of eyes down there to see that better.
That was going to be a
All
second
right,
down
first
goal
and
point.
10 for the
Yep.
Gophers at their own 9-yard line. The defense will have to step it up again here for the Vikings. Twins to the right, single to the left. Here's a handoff around the right end. He's being pursued in the backfield. He changes course, comes back this way, and he'll be tackled at about the 10-yard line. So
No gain?
He ran about 21 yards but gained one because he did most of it, as we would say, north and south. This field is at an angle. We'll just call it north and south. So number 34 is going to get credit for that tackle in the backfield, and that's Cooper Barnard again, that sophomore.
The first couple series, Bill, they were getting to the outside, and Lamar is pushing them and keeping that contained.
Yes.
Containing the end and keeping them inside.
Second down and 9 at the 10. Spread formation. The quarterback is going to keep it up the middle to the right side. He'll get wrapped up and thrown down at about the 15-yard line, which should bring up 3rd and 4.
16.
The tackle by number 41, Sorrell Lewis.
Looks like a 3rd and 3 here.
Got to the 16-yard line. Thanks, Steve. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down for the Viking defense to see if they can stop them here. 3 receivers out to the left. No one split out to the right. A running back in the backfield with the quarterback. Here's the snap. Handoff. He is going to go to the left side. I don't think he got it.
Got it.
34 again. They're spotting it at the 19.
Boy, he
Cooper
needed.
Barnard makes another great tackle. Let's see where they put it. And it's not going to be a first down. The punt team's coming out for the Gophers.
He needed 3 and they got 2. 4th down and 1. Boy, you're awful deep to try any type of fake or anything here. But 4th and 1, it makes it a little tempting.
Well, no, I don't think at your own 18-yard line you're going to be doing a fake. You're only down by 7.
Agreed.
No one deep yet for the Vikings. It looks like they may try to apply some pressure here.
They don't trust it.
3 up men to block for the punter. Here's a snap. It's a good snap. It's partially blocked. I think by maybe his own player. I'm not sure. But it gets a go for roll across midfield down to about the 44-yard line. So someone got a piece of that football.
Once again, your defense held. A 3rd down and 3rd down and 3, and you only give up 2. Force them to punt, get the ball back.
Yep.
Got to clean up these fumbles a bit.
Well, and a 37-yard punt to the 44-yard line, that is good starting field position for the Vikings. And, again, got to clean it up. But, Richie, I don't want to sound like a complainer, but that was not a fumble on that previous one.
I agreed. But, you hang on to the football, and that doesn't even come into play.
True. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 44, leading 7-0, 9:19 to go in the second quarter. They show 3 receivers out to the left, no one to the right. Looks like maybe Green in the backfield. No, it's Hewlett. Pass out to the flat. Brendan Bias gets it across the 50, 45. He stops.
Nice play.
Back to the 40, and he gets inside the 40-yard line to about the 38-yard line, 37-yard line.
Bill, that was a zone. GrandPrairie was running a zone there, and Morris had to have seen, look, I've got 3 receivers with 2 defenders.
Yes. And it was so wonderful. Bias caught that ball, goes to the outside, stops about a yard shy of the defenders, and then cuts back toward the middle of the field and gets another 5 or 6 yards. 1st and 10 at the 37 for the Vikings. Now trips to the right, no one to the left. Hewlett takes the handoff. He stutter steps, goes around the left end. He breaks one tackle and tucks forward to about the 31-yard line. He actually did a stutter step there to kind of fake out one of them. 6-yard gain, it looks like, for the Vikings.
He was waiting for his offensive lineman to give him a lane to go through. And, Hewlett is running with power tonight. Absolutely.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he's making it so, hey, you want to tackle me? It's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me.
All right, 2nd down and 4 for the Vikings. They got to get to the 27-yard line. Trips to the right. Hewlett behind Morris in the pistol formation. Here's the snap. Handoff to it's a keeper by Morris, who's going to slide at about the 28-yard line. He'll be about a yard shy, it looks like. Depends on where they spot it.
It looks like it could be a
Wow,
first.
I think we got the benefit of the doubt there at the 27. That's a 1st down. Because when he starts the slide, it's where his buttocks are when he begins the slide motion. But he got where the ball was when he went down, it looks like. So we got a little bit of a benefit on that one. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 27-yard line.
Wonderful. There is an energy tonight that I haven't seen it.
Kind of reminds me of the Aggies' energy against Alabama last Saturday night.
There's two, folks. There's two.
All right, twins to the left, single to the right. Hewlett to the right of Morris in the backfield. Well, it did remind me of that. Hewlett takes the ball. He stutter steps, follows a blocker up over the 25-yard line. He'll get about 3 yards or so.
Bill, you look at that and you say 3 yards. That was a great 3 yards because I'll tell you, it looked like he was going to get maybe one and simply plowed through a Grand Prairie defender to say, I want a couple more.
He pushed forward instead of just going down. You are correct.
Driving those feet.
2nd down and 7 at the 24-yard line. They need to get to the 17. That's my Aggie math there. Twins to the left, single to the right. Hewlett, no, it's not. I didn't bring up the game. Hewlett takes it. No, it's a keeper on the zone read. And Morris goes forward to about the 21-yard line. So that's another 3 yards. 3 yards, and it would be a cloud of dust if we weren't playing on turf.
True. Again, it's power football, absolute power football. Look at the hands on hips from the Grand Prairie players.
And remember, I was saying earlier, if the Vikings can get out to a fast offensive start, put that defense on their heels. Mm-hmm. And you're right. I'm glad you saw that they've all got their hands on their hips just about.
That's what they pay me to do, Bill.
Wow, you get paid for this?
Probably said so.
I want whatever you get paid, I want half of it. Twins to the left, twins to the right. Hewlett to the left of Morris in the backfield. 3rd down and 4. Here's a snap. Morris steps back. He's going to throw to this side. It's caught by Brandon Bias at the 12, across the 10 to the 5.
That's a touchdown.
There's a flag thrown down there. And it's got to be interference or holding, before the catch.
Let's see if it's holding before the catch. I think it's going to be holding before the catch. Oh, gracious.
Oh, wow, they're saying he pushed off?
I guess. I didn't see that.
Wow, I didn't either. Let's see if the replay board shows it. Wow, it could be. Let's see what they show. Hopefully they'll show it. Well, that'll cost us 15 yards. That should bring up 3rd down and 19.
Boy, that's disappointing because that was a scoring play.
I thought that was just kind of some mutual. Anyway, it is what it is. It's 3rd down and long. Trips to the left, single to the
offside. Right. Go.
No,
go.
They've blown it dead.
Oh, man.
Now, if they blow it dead, it's offsides with contact is why it was blown dead. Yes, I believe it's 68.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's number 68, John Paz. 57? They don't have a 57 on the roster. All right. 3rd down and still kind of long, but 5 yards less than it was before. Twins left, twins right. Low snap. Morris picks it up. He's going to have to get out of some trouble here in the pocket. He throws across the middle, and it's bobbled but caught by Jalen McCoy inside the 25-yard line. I thought he was going to bobble that thing loose, and it could have ended up in an interception. What a way to hold on to that ball. So that brings up 4th down and about 6, I think. And we're going to see a Blake Ford attempt of a 39-yard field goal with Jaden Morris to do the holding.
I saw him warming up.
Oh, it's now they're going into the what do you call that? The swinging gate. Where everyone has moved to the left.
Yeah, Grand Prairie just
timeout called by Grand Prairie because the coaches. Way to go, Coach Skinner.
Yep.
You didn't pick up any yardage, but you sure threw them off their game. If you had a quicker snap, it might have worked, but there was a timeout called. All of the offensive line moved out to the left, which I love that swinging gate formation.
But several of the Grand Prairie players simply looked over to Coach. Coach?
I won't say which team, but there was a college team.
Yes.
Based out of College Station. Used to do that in the 80s quite a bit. And then it became pretty popular. Not mentioning a certain team, certain game, anything, but I just say I love seeing when that happens.
Oh, my goodness.
That was a teaser right there because these guys were about to write down another tally mark on
Wait a second.
Oh, no, I did not mention the game.
No,
I just talked about how back in the 80s they did that.
I'm sure there are several other football programs.
I'm throwing y'all
that come
statistics
out of,
into
College Station.
All right, here comes the 39-yard attempt by Blake Ford. Morris to do the holding. Now they're doing the swinging gate again. Morris comes up. Now we got a man in motion coming across this way. Morris rolls this way. He throws across the middle.
Oh,
He
gracious.
overthrows Peyton Kelly. That would have been, is that 39, I believe? Yep. Wow.
You know,
Well-
the first fake was great.
Yeah.
Do you kick it next time?
Well, if you're going to do that, I think you had better chance just running it up the middle for 4 yards. But, hey, that's why they pay me half
That's
of what
true.
they pay you to do this and not coach down there.
This is true.
23-yard line is where this drive for the Gophers will begin, 1st and 10. Yeah. Oh, very good. They would have run into a wall of a defense, though, if it was last Saturday.
True.
All right. Twins to the left, single to the right. Pistol formation in the backfield. Here's a snap. Quarterback looks. He's rolling around. He's got pressure. He throws it away out of bounds. He was real close to getting sacked. Now, that's number 1.
I think 0-1 kind of rotate in.
That's Adrian Wilson that came in on this drive.
You know, Martin does a little bit of that too. They've got a primary quarterback. They have a couple other guys that can run the position, and so it looks like what GrandPrairie does is they've got two quarterbacks, although one of them is in the quarterback position at any time.
Now they come out with trips to the right, single to the left. 2nd down and 10. Steps back. He's got pressure in the backfield. Moves out of that. Now he's running for his life over this way. He'll be across the 20, 25, and gets pulled out of bounds
About the
by Marion Fox.
29-yard line.
And that'll be about a 6-yard gain, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 4. Another
Once
big
again,
3rd down for the Viking defense. Yeah, Richie.
Boy, the defense has really, really played well against a team that is very quick, very elusive, and they have really contained them the last several drives. Now, you got to keep doing it, you know.
All right, 3rd and 4, trips to the right, single to the left, empty set in the backfield, man in motion going across. He takes the handoff.
Yep.
He's going to string it out across 30, 35, 40, 45. He finally gets taken out of bounds at about the 48-yard line, 50-yard line.
That is a replay of the very first play from scrimmage, just from the other side.
And that was Drew Damper that came in motion from a receiver split to the left, took the handoff, strung it out, turned upfield, and got the 1st down. 21 yards, thanks, Steve. Ball at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10. Now they come out with 3 to the left. Ball on the far hash mark. 1 running back. Here's a snap. Zone read handoff. He moves around. He's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage at best. He went to the right side and got caught up by the tackle and guard area.
You know, they're saying no gain. I don't think he ever got to the line of scrimmage. But once again, stacked up the line and kind of made the running back dance a little bit in the backfield.
Looked like Eric Olivares was at least part of that stop over there. He came out of that scrum kind of one of the last ones, so we'll give him at least partial credit for that. 2nd down and 10 for the Gophers. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Empty set.
Lamar's in a man coverage. Looks like offsides.
It's off. Well, and I think they're going to blow it dead because he made contact and was possibly unabated to the quarterback. But wait a minute.
I'm waiting.
Now the
they are moving it. Okay.
Okay. One of the players for the Gophers, the quarterback, Red, I think, at first I think he was upset thinking it was going to be illegal procedure when he saw it was stopped.
You know what, Bill? I think he was upset because he thought he was going to get a free play.
Well, and I say the quarterback. He's the quarterback that is now playing slot receiver because they have Wilson in at quarterback. They've been moving. Twins left, single right, 1 in the backfield in the pistol formation. Here's a snap. He looks to throw. He's going to go up the middle on the keeper. He'll get across the 45 to the 42-yard line.
Well, this is going to be a 4th down and 2.
Eric Olivares in there again on a tackle.
4th down and 2. This is is it 3rd down or 4th down?
It should be 3rd down.
Okay,
I believe.
excuse me. They flipped the 3 early on me. Excuse me.
No problem at all. 3rd down and 2 for the Gophers. Another 3rd down opportunity here for the Vikings defense.
Vikings have stood up. Again, you got to get them off the field.
Trips to the left, 1 in the backfield with the quarterback. Here's a snap. Quarterback's going to keep it and roll this way.
Get in there,
He's
baby.
stopped short of the 1st down. He gets maybe 1 yard. And that'll bring up 4th and 1. Number 13 made the stop for the Vikings, Jaden Peterson.
He needed 2. He picked up 1. Boy, I really thought that GrandPrairie might try and move quick here and catch Lamar a little bit off guard. Man, Lamar is playing so well tonight.
Especially on third downs.
Yep.
And Peterson that made that tackle, another sophomore. And the reason I'm bringing up these sophomores to point them out, that's future. We're not losing these guys.
Yes, it is.
All right, punt formation showing on
no
4th
one
and
back.
1.5.
Nobody's back.
Here's the snap. Here's the kick. They got pressure on him.
Oh,
there's going to be the flag.
No.
Well, his leg was in the air. He got knocked over. He kept his leg in the air a little bit maybe. They were trying to go for the ball.
I think he just fell on the ground, Bill.
I'm pretty sure there was contact. Oh, and they're calling it the personal foul because his leg was still up in the air. So that'll be 15 yards. You know, if I punted, I would leave my leg in the air as long as I could.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh,
Oh, look, the reason I'm laughing is Amarian Fox is down there talking to the official, and he's emulating, hey, if the leg is up, okay, personal. Either way, they were going to get a first down out of that penalty.
True.
But I love that Amarian Fox went over to the head referee and was kind of re-emulating the kicking action by the punter. And he must have done it with a smile on his face because the official didn't get mad and throw a flag on him. So that's first down and 10 for the Gophers with new life on this drive at the 26-yard line of the Vikings. They come out with twins to the right, single to the left. One in the backfield with the quarterback.
Looks like a man look from
Here's a
Lamar.
Snap. Quarterback keeper to the right side. He's going to get across 25-20 and across the 15, pushed out of bounds finally at about the 13-yard line.
That's the first play in a while that they just didn't have contain on. They didn't force him back back inside, and he was able to get outside the tackle and run for a first down.
And that was Savion Red now back in at quarterback and took that snap. Now Red's coming over to a slot position, it looks like, and Wilson will go into the quarterback position.
Bill, are they keeping one? Are they just having the new quarterback run in the play?
No, they're staying on the field. Here's the snap. Here's a quarterback keeper up the middle. He's across the 5 and stopped it inside the 5-yard line.
Once again,
Dalen Rogers, number 2, made the stop.
They've run this play over and over, and it's very simply it's not an RPO. He's not going to pass it at all.
He was going all the way.
Yeah.
2nd and 2 at the 5-yard line. They can get a first down at the 3-yard line. The Vikings have a 7-0 lead. 1 minute, 30 seconds to go. Clock rolling here in the second quarter. Single left, single right, extra tight end. Now he goes in motion to the other side. Here's a snap.
Uh-oh.
He turns a
my
handoff,
goodness.
and the guy wasn't there. Peyton Kelly and
all of
Amarian Fox
yeah.
are in the backfield to wrap him up. The quarterback turned to his left for the handoff. The running back went straight by on the right-hand side. And now they're calling in for an injured player. Is he up? Nope.
Nope. They gave him a yard.
No, they didn't. He's back at the 10-yard line. He lost 5.
He's back. Okay.
Loss of 4 yards then from the 5. Here's a snap. Steps back. Wilson. He's being chased out of the pocket. He's got trouble. He throws.
Was that?
And it's almost
incomplete.
intercepted.
Oh, boy. So that play wasn't going anywhere right off the bat, like a gun back into the backfield and forcing him way outside to make a very difficult throw. That ball was almost intercepted.
Deshaun Wells chased him out of the pocket immediately. He had to throw the ball, and it ended up being low, closer to the Vikings defenders.
This should be 4th down, right?
Yeah, it's 4th down. They have not changed the marker down there yet. It's 4th down and 7 at the 9-yard line. They got to get 6. They have to get to the 3. Now there's the officials are calling timeout because
I was going to say someone's going to have to call a timeout because
the official just told the sideline guy, put the marker at 4th down. That guy's not paying a lot of attention.
No.
And people are not helping him, but he should be paying better attention than he is. 35 seconds to go in the half.
I'm okay with them doing it, but
down.
that really benefits the Gophers because they were down to about 8 seconds on the
4th down and
play
6
clock.
at the 9-yard line. Twins left, single right. Now the timeout called by Lamar just before the snap. The quarterback was confused because he turns, and no one's moving at all.
All of his wide receivers from the on the left-hand side had left, but no one else moved.
And you know what? When there's 35 seconds to go and you're up by 7 and they're threatening, why not call a timeout and see if you can reset the defense?
Totally agree. I'd love for the score to be 10-0 right now, but I'm super happy if you go into halftime 7-0. Hold right here.
Yeah.
It would be such momentum.
And the Vikings
building.
get the ball to start the second half.
That's right. With 35 seconds left. Now, they can pick up a first down.
At the
Bill.
3-yard line, correct.
Mm-hmm. But with 35 seconds left, and they've got, one timeout left? Is that correct? No, they have 2. Excuse me. They have 2.
Each team has used 1 timeout.
Yeah, so it looks like they are rotating their quarterbacks out. Not quite every play, but quite a few of the plays on the GrandPrairie side.
Okay, the teams come back out on the field. 4th down and 6. All right, they come out with 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right, 1 in the backfield with the quarterback. It looks like Wilson is the quarterback for this play. Here's a snap. It's a handoff and a flip back this way. He's being chased around.
It's red.
He's got it back at the 15. Now he reverses course again. He's going to get wrapped up at the 15-yard line. The ball goes over on downs. The Viking defense stands again. What a play. They had him going back and forth after the reverse.
Trick plays are great when they work.
Yes.
But when they don't, you sit there and you go, come on, you've been running the ball this way, and you're going to go to some trickery. I think GrandPrairie may have overthought that a little bit.
I think they may have. Wow, Richie. What a first half. It's like a pitcher's duel. Thank you. Ball's at the 14-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. I think they're going to be content with just trying to run out the clock.
Yep.
You know, if it was Jimbo Fisher, he'd throw deep at least once, but it's not. Didn't mention the game.
No.
A&M.
20 seconds left.
Did you hear that Jimbo Fisher was the first former Nick Saban assistant coach to beat Nick Saban? Yeah. They did in College Station. It was also the end of 100 games in a row. Alabama won against unranked teams. And there's halftime with the score, Lamar 7, GrandPrairie 0. Y'all are egging me on. Y'all get partial credit.
Yeah, it's certainly not your fault. That,
no, not at all. It's my
up.
trifocal glasses I just picked up today. Wow, what an exciting first half, Richie. The defensive stands by the Vikings when it really counts, keeping them out of the end zone. That's 2 4th downs they were not successful on.
Yep. Again, GrandPrairie has done very, very well between the 20-yard lines.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Sure. The GrandPrairie Gophers are walking off the field. Their heads hung low. Some of them look quite dejected. I'm not making fun at all, but there's such an
aura.
Aura, thank you.
Dejection almost.
Yes.
You talked about this in the pregame show. You've got a team that is walking up the ramp right now that is used to scoring 30 points a game. Now, it's only halftime. I'm not telling you that they're not going to score 30, but if this Lamar defense plays like that, man, they're not going to score 30 points
They
tonight.
might get 20-something, 21. Yeah, we'll just see what happens in the second half. The other thing to mention about this, now, Lamar's not going on a scoring rampage like they did against Bowie, but I talked with Skinner after the game on the coaches show that week on Sunday night, and I brought it, and I'll tell you this, Coach Skinner, he will let me ask just about any question. He's never turned down a question yet. And I asked him, I said, so, fans and people were kind of concerned. What happened? Because had a big lead and it almost evaporated. He goes, that's on me as the coach. We didn't keep our – I'm paraphrasing some. We didn't keep our foot on the gas as long as we should have, and we're not going to do that ever again.
Right.
So I think, especially defensively, but as offensively as much as possible, you will not see any let-up, I wouldn't think, on the Vikings' behalf coming up in the second half.
I don't think so. Again, I love the term building a football team.
Yes.
Because it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it's not going to happen even just in a few weeks. I mean, you're talking about, they've been, if you go back to two-a-days, you're talking about into summer, that these guys have been practicing and playing, learning plays. And so I feel like we're starting to get some momentum towards the direction that Coach Skinner is wanting them to play towards. And,
You're so correct, Richie.
Looks good.
And if we're fortunate enough and get all the games and winning the right ways, and we make it to the playoffs, wow, what a success that is.
No doubt.
But just like you say, the building of the team, the progression that's being made this season so far is huge for a first-year coach. Mm-hmm. And some of these guys that are working for him have been at Lamar before. Some are coming in from other places, but they're buying in. Hey, I want to take a few moments and thank some of our sponsors here. The Football Booster Club would like to thank, of course, Randall Mill Pharmacy, who sponsors also all of our point-after attempts. We got to call their name out several times last night at the JV game over the PA system. Only once tonight so far, but we look forward to some more of that. Dr. Rebecca Greco of Physicians Ageless Solutions, Pendleton Photography, No Frills Grill, a place for fine food and spirits. And when they say spirits, they don't mean ghosts.
Right,
they
right.
mean, libations.
It's Halloween season, so I wasn't quite sure.
Yep. Big Apple Cafe and NYPD Deli. Those people have done so much for the Vikings over the years. Mm-hmm. And they want to thank the Viking community for their continued support for the last 29 years. That's just amazing.
It is.
Also, we want to talk about, y'all talked about it during the pregame show, the Allstate Foundation, in collaboration with Positive Influence and the Javier Najera Agency here in Arlington, got us some upgraded equipment, all kinds of stuff like that. Be sure and join the Booster Club if you're not a member already. And you can see on the screen, if you're watching, the Vikings are coming out to do their routine. Always fun to watch and very entertaining and award-winning. Also, buy Spirit gear. Buy the newest T-shirt or the hat, whatever you need. Those proceeds support the Booster Club, which, again, that's not people in the Booster Club making money. All that money goes into the football program to buy the things that the budget doesn't provide for.
Boy, and you can see across the way, it's an away game, so you're not going to have quite as many Viking fans. But I love seeing the yellow WTD Win the Day T-shirts. Those are awesome.
Great spot there, Richie. That is very true. And we do have a pretty decent turnout for tonight's game. An away game, just down I-30 a little bit. Also, here are the Thor Corps and the cheerleaders. Thor this year is Hayden James. All right, I've known Hayden since he was knee-high to, me, or a grasshopper, through a church I was at, scouts, all kinds of stuff. A fine young man, and that is so cool that he gets to be Thor this year. The cheerleaders for the Vikings, senior Emily Garcia, senior Madison Godfrey, senior Lauren Heltmock, senior Sydney Hill, senior Alexandra Soriano, juniors Melanie Hurtado, Yvette Madera, Nadalyn Narvaez, Daniela Rivera, Alejandra Varela, and Chase Warren. And the varsity captains of the cheerleaders are senior Sabri Clark, senior Cassidy Hoffman, senior Zoe Silver, and senior Taylor Wade.
Can I brag on the band for a little bit?
I wish you would.
So, there's all these different competitions, and the band is smaller than what it has been in the past. Matter of fact, last week, one of our spotters was Dr. Keith Harmon, who's been, he's retired now, but he's been a doctor in Arlington
He was my
forever.
son's pediatric, or part of their pediatric physician after the original one retired in that same practice.
All my kids went to him. So he came up and he said, man, the band is so much smaller. And I said, yeah, but they're really, really good. So they had two competitions. They finished in the top 5 in the one that was in Burleson. They were, I think, 6th or 7th in one that was in Midlothian. They had UIL competition this past Tuesday night, competing against the GrandPrairie schools, against all the other Arlington schools, against some of the Mansfield schools. They received a score of 1. Now, I didn't grow up knowing much about band, and so if I was told, hey, they scored a 1, I would probably say, oh, I'm so sorry, I hope they do better next time. But a 1 is the best score you can get.
Yeah.
Super proud of them, and I know that that those kids are super proud of the job that they've done. And so the Pride of Lamar Band, big shout out to them, as well as the drill team and what do you call the flag people? The ones that
They call them the
color guard.
Yes.
Flag people sound so like they came out of a swamp or something. That's not what I mean. But the color guard was fantastic. Just a great group of kids to see them. Man, they have to get there at 6:30 in the morning. Oftentimes to get some of their practice done. Get there at 6:00. This morning, the band members were there at 6:30 in the morning, and they're probably not going to be home until 10:30 or maybe even later than that. So they put in a full day's work. So hats off to those kids. It's more than just a football game, isn't it, Bill?
It is, and that I love the bands. I love the drum lines. It's just fun to see all aspects of the game. We've got a relatively new fan. I mentioned we have fans all over the country. Mindy in Oregon sends a message saying, "I'm new, hands on hips?" ? And so what the deal is, when the defense keeps having to move backwards and backwards, and they're getting worn down by a fast moving offense, you kind of sometimes you're tired. All you do is stand there with your hands on your hips, hoping to catch your breath.
Yeah.
And literally, it's not just figuratively. That's what they were doing. We'll repeat that again during the game for anyone else that's new. And I love that. I used to be able to claim I'm new in a lot of things, but now I'm old. But hey, did I mention I've got trifocals? So anything that goes wrong tonight, it's because of that.
They've got two guys with horrible eyesight watching the game. What are they thinking, right?
All right. Well, let's go ahead and turn our mics down, and we'll give folks a chance to watch the band, give us a break, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Lamar Viking varsity football.
Get started in
Higher.
Higher volume, right?
a little higher volume. All right, we are back on the air. So you got a chance to take a look at the Pride of Lamar band with the Vikings, with the color guard, and they did a fantastic job tonight. Javi,
How are you, sir?
this is a lot better than last week.
It is. Although the play in this game reminded me of the first quarter of last week, except it kind of went another way after that. But, man, this is knock 'em, hit 'em in the head football. A couple of bad, Coach Skinner won't talk about this, but I think there's a couple of bad calls on behalf of the officials. But
Yeah, the big call is, you have first off, you have the pass interference call that negated a touchdown.
yes,
And we're in a position where we see it one time. If we're lucky, maybe it's on the video screen.
Yeah.
And so, we're going off of, and by the way, we're, 150 yards away from the play. And
we're coaching from the sky.
Right, and we've already talked about, I wear contacts.
Yeah.
Bill's got trifocals. And so, I'd love to say that, hey, that wasn't a penalty, but it probably was. He probably pushed off. But that's a disappointing play.
It was.
The fumble, that was a bad call.
Right.
And we saw the replay on that, and
Both knees on the ground.
he dove to pick up a couple extra yards, literally landed on the ground, boom, and the ball pops out. Both of those, one of them definitely was a touchdown.
Right.
And the other one, they were, 10 yards, 15 yards away from getting into the end zone?
Yes,
And so,
correct.
both of those plays, we could be looking at a very different score.
Different score, yes.
That being said, the score is 7-0. Lamar has held at least 3 times
At least.
as the Gophers have moved into a position to score. One time being on about the 4-yard line and having 3 chances at picking up a first down or scoring and didn't do it.
Right. And, I'm just really proud of this defense.
No doubt.
I just love the way this defense is playing, and it's no surprise to me because Coach Skinner was our defensive coordinator in years past, and so not that any other coach or coordinator is not, of course everything's as best as they can, but you just have that feeling, that when the head coach is that's what he did for a long time. That's what's happening now, and it's just been amazing. The penetration into the backfield, the stops, the sack. I mean, it's just been a great defensive show.
It looks like and they look to be really 2 deep, 3 deep probably on the just extraordinary players.
Yes.
There's no doubt that Damper is a phenomenal player. I think he's touched the ball 2 times, and I bet you he's got 80 yards. Number 1, Red, and number 2, Wilson, almost interchangeable pieces at quarterback.
Right.
And they've done much more on the ground than they have in the air. Anxious to see the second half to see if any of that changes.
Yeah. Standout on the defense besides the usual players, like number 39, Peyton Kelly, number 8, Teohima, and, Aaron Fox, I believe, number 20. I mean, there's so many, but tonight, number 34, Cooper Barnard, who is a sophomore, stand out on at least 2 or more plays, key plays, where he's either had a key stop, was even in the backfield, may have even been a sack. I don't have it in front of me, but
Marion Fox has made several plays. Connor Barnard, is that who you were mentioning earlier?
Yes, I'm sorry. Did I say Cooper?
Sophomore.
Connor Barnard.
Both of those guys have played exceptionally well.
I have a misspell here, but yes. Either way, number 34, who is a sophomore, and I believe Bill said even was on this team last year as a freshman, if I have that right. So that guy is going to be performing and out to play for years to come.
You've got we mentioned this several times in the broadcast, but building a football team, and the most important thing you can have is a foundation.
Right.
The offensive and defensive lines have really set the tone tonight.
Yes, and you see Coach Skinner. These people live on Twitter, and so that's where they post where he's going to the lower grades and even the junior high schools to see what players are coming up. And by the way, that trick play,
the swinging gate
play, which at first GrandPrairie called a timeout, just to regroup because everybody was looking at the sideline. I'm not sure some of those players knew or had seen it. And then it came right back and ran it. Didn't work out like they wanted it. But Coach Skinner mentioned on the coaches show this week that last week, and that was one of the keys to the games, was special teams. And here we are again making attempts to get those special teams to do special things.
Really good score, really good play so far tonight. The score is 7-0. If you're just joining us, Lamar kicked off to begin the game. GrandPrairie drove down the field and fumble on the play. Lamar recovered, moved down. Really didn't do too much on their first possession. Did have to punt. GrandPrairie once again got the ball, rolled down the field, and were held without scoring. And that's when Lamar got to work running the football.
Right. And run they did. In fact, I don't know that there was, many passing plays in between that could have been, but they just got to running the ball, got back to that fundamental, we call it 3 yards in a cloud of dust. There is no dust out here, but but that's an old term to say they were just pounding the ball, on the ground.
Hewlett looked good out of the backfield. McCoy had at least one catch, maybe two. Bias has played well. Bias number 3, he's played well. It looked like Tahoma came in and played a play or two on the offensive side.
He did.
Little different wrinkle, something I don't remember seeing that.
We hadn't seen that yet, but he did come in, yes.
I'm trying to look through and see if
Jalen McCoy, who was key in that game 2 weeks ago against Bowie, came in and made a couple of plays, a couple of key plays. And, as we were saying last week, we sure hope to see more of him tonight. Maybe we will, but he came in again to make a couple of key plays.
Defense. Offense looked good. We've talked a little bit about special teams. Let's just one more time. Defensively, boy, they've looked good, haven't they?
They've just knock them to the ground, knock them back, just disrupt everything they're doing. And by the way, GrandPrairie, when they started with quarterback number 0, Savion Red, but then interchangeably go back and forth between him and Adrian Wilson. But they're both on the field. One of them's either lined out wide and one behind center. But the point is, it hasn't bothered the defense much at all. They have just penetrated. They have made plays. They've tackled. They've stopped them for losses. They've stopped them from converting fourth downs. I mean, everything that you wish and hope that your defense will do is what they have done.
The defense has done their part. The offense has scored. It's 7-0 Vikings. Second half is about 6 minutes away. Javi, just for tell us a little bit about, there is a player on the Vikings that is in the an All-American.
We wanted to feature him, Blake Ford, who we've known to be the Vikings kicker, of course. I saw it, and again, everything's announced on Twitter. I saw on Twitter that he has made the All-American team for high schools this year, and there's a big picture of him holding his jersey. He will wear number 22 for that ball game, which is played, as I understand it, in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Now, here's the interesting thing, Richie, and I'm ashamed to say, I'm going to definitely look up how this is done, but there's West and East as far as teams, and Blake Ford is the only Texas player on the East team roster.
Interesting.
And I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure if that's by design or it may have just been I just don't know. But there's 10 or 12 Texas players on the West team, but he is the only one. But anyway, especially proud of him making that. I'm sure that's a huge. There's only 100 players that are chosen to participate in that ball game.
And he's a heck of a kicker. We get the chance to see him during the game, but we also get a chance just to see him warm up.
Yes.
And, when you look down there and you say, this is a 17, 18-year-old kid, and he's on the 40-yard line kicking field goals. absolutely amazing.
On the other 40, yeah, exactly. So he's kicking it 55, 60 yards out and splitting, making it through the uprights. That's where we really see what a kicker's ability can be. But, man, we've seen him, I guess, 2 or 3 years, I will say. But, anyway, super proud. Congratulations to him for making that team.
Big deal, really big deal. I think that's impressive by Blake Ford. Javi, we've got just let's say 1 minute left before we get Bill back on the headset. Couple keys. What do the Vikings need to do to get a victory here tonight?
The defense do exactly as you are. Maybe you can get a couple of turnovers, maybe one for a score, but man, we got to get just a rhythm in that offense, and it's not for lack of. We know we've got the players and the ability to do it. Just cannot get into a rhythm of just driving the ball down. You'll hear me preach this over and over, even 10 yards at a time. We can look for the big play, but it's just 10 yards at a time. And if we can get into that offensive rhythm, like you said, I mean, a couple of calls could have made this 14-0, maybe even 21-0. We'll take the lead at this point, but let's just get into that rhythm and not be disrupted by anything, going around us.
Love it. Javier, thank you very much. About 3 minutes left to go in halftime. They are setting up the run-through, the giant Viking run-through inflatable. They're setting that up. It's a little bit windy, and there's not a whole lot of space down here, and so part of it is being set up, but the other part, it looks like they left it at home. So just a few stats before we get into second half stuff. GrandPrairie had 6 possessions during the first half, 30 total plays, and were held out of the end zone. The Lamar Vikings, 3 possessions, 16 total plays, and yet the Vikings do have the 7-0 lead. Several penalties, several of them very costly. 4 penalties by Lamar, total of 50 yards. There was a roughing the kicker penalty that was a 15-yarder. There was a pass interference, an offensive pass interference that was also a 15-yarder, and then an unsportsmanlike penalty for Lamar. GrandPrairie also had 4 penalties for a total of 35. One of those was a personal foul, 15-yard. The rest of them were common variety, I guess we could say. Bill, great first half. We might like more than just 7 points, but are we happy with 7-0 Lamar?
I'm happier than a puppy with 2 tails, Richie. Have you ever seen a puppy chase its tail?
I have.
Imagine if it had 2 tails, how happy it would be.
That is happy.
I'll tell you what, you always kind of hope for a little bit more of a lead, but I'll tell you what, 7-0, I'll take it, especially as GrandPrairie was driving toward the end of the first half, and we kept them not only out of the end zone, kept them from putting the ball through the uprights off the tee, and got a big 4th down, negative yardage turnover on downs type thing.
Mm-hmm. You almost wish that that play had been. You almost wish that play. You almost wish that. Trying to get something here. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. You almost wish that there had been a little bit more time left on the clock. That was such a momentum builder. And only 35 seconds left, and you don't want to do something silly before halftime.
Yeah.
But, boy, it would have been nice to have had a minute and a half left there to say, okay, now let's use that momentum, drive down, and see if we can pick up a few more points.
Definitely so, but, man, you got to be pleased with it. Hey, and the Vikings are going to get the opening kickoff.
Right.
To begin the second half, so hopefully that momentum carries over. I want to mention something. I was just kind of out in the common area up here on the second floor of the press box area. Saw Coach
Does this
Laban.
have something to do with Frito Pie?
No,
Okay.
but the only thing I'll say about that is I went down to the ground level, and the lines at the concession stand were like a quarter of a mile. They were heading back over towards Highway 180. So I said, that Frito Pie's got to be good, but not that good. But I saw Coach Laban DeLay and his beautiful and wonderful wife, Kelly, sitting in the common area over there. Their game, of course, last night for this week.
Right.
And it was just nice to say hi to him, and he's doing well. Their daughter Addison's doing well in college, and everything's going great, but it's just good to see him. The ball is placed on the tee. And it was not delayed. I was talking to some other people, and I won't say who mentioned or saw this, but they saw Savion Red, the quarterback and
Yes.
the rusher for running back for the Gophers, is very frustrated. As he was leaving the field, he spiked his helmet. Ear pads came out. He is very frustrated that he's not getting his usual big yardage game.
Interesting.
All right, one deep for the Vikings back at the 10 yards. It's a squib kick, and it's a loose ball still, and it's still a loose ball.
Yes.
3 different
13.
Vikings touched it. Well, 13 had it, and I believe he still does. Yes. Wow. That is Jaden Peterson. And I remember he's a sophomore. I mentioned before I called his name as a freshman at announcing freshman games last year. So he's already moving up the ranks to varsity as a sophomore. But go ahead.
Wow, that was not your typical onside kick. It was, goodness gracious, a 34-yard onside kick, basically. And it was that ball was kicked really, really hard and just hugged the ground.
First and 10 for the Vikings at their own 27. Twins left, single right. Here's a snap. Hewlett takes the ball around the right end. He's going to get maybe a yard, if that, and 1 yard. Number 11, Miles Johnson, probably called his name more than any other single name for the Gophers tonight.
Looks like 2 yards. They're going to give him 2 yards. It's going to be a
Okay,
second
out
down
to
and
the
8.
29. They come back out. Twins to the left, single to the right. Hewlett in the backfield, a tight end off the line. Now a new play being called in from the sideline. Morris goes up and tells the offensive line what it is. That brings Hewlett to this side of Morris in the backfield now. Here's a snap. Morris takes a handoff, looks for a crease. He'll go around the left end. He's going to get to about the 33-yard line before he is stopped by a bevy of Gophers.
Love that word, bevy. Hey, Bill, when you watch old-time football
Yes.
and you see it's that gang tackling
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's not just 1 or 2 people, it's 3 or 4 guys on the offensive side, 3 or 4 guys on the defensive side, and then all their friends join in. That's what we've seen the last couple of plays. And let's see if Lamar
Basically
can,
a scrum.
It is. Let's see if Lamar can
Twins
pick up.
right, single left. Hewlett in the backfield to the left of Morris. A tight end off the line. Big third down play. Hewlett will take it. He's caught in the backfield, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up fourth down at the 32-yard line. So fourth down and a long 4. Well, not the momentum that we were hoping for coming out of halftime. The Gopher defense does what they need to do, gets a 3 and out.
We talked about this right before the break. This is a team that's used to scoring 30 points. And so there had to be a little bit of a talking to in the dressing room about let's go back to Gopher football, so to speak.
Definitely so. Blake Ford back at his own 20 to take the snap. Here's the snap. It's low. He gets the kickoff. Not much pressure. It's a nice kick that's going to go back to the 25. Bounces off the player, and the ball is loose on the ground. Now it's picked up by one of the Gophers, and he'll get out to the 23-yard line. Wow, that was almost disaster for the Gophers.
I don't think he quite got a read. The wind here, you would think that the Gopher players would kind of get an idea.
So Drew Damper was the one that kind of muffed it at the beginning, and then number 4, Sergio Rodriguez for the Gophers picked it up thanks to our wonderful spotters. 46 yards net on the punt.
Very lucky to have that ball back.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line for the Gophers. Twins out to the left. Twins to the right. Empty set in the backfield. The coaches next door, they were scared. Here's a man in motion. He'll take it. He comes up the middle, but he's going to get stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe at the line of scrimmage they're going to give him.
Yeah.
Teohema, number 8, made the tackle there.
Bill, they've run that similar play several times. It's typically Wilson, number 1, that runs it. This time it was a different player, not the same result. They've read it, and they're seeing that a few times and saying, we're not going to let you continue to run up and down the field on us.
It comes in motion out of that slot position and takes the handoff. Now they've got trips to the right, which is 3 receivers, triple receivers to the right, single to the left. No one in the backfield. Empty set. Quarterback keeper, nope. Now he looks around. Now he's going to come this way. He's being pursued. He drops the ball. And the ball.
Are they going to give it to him?
Let's see.
Lamar,
the Vikings
football.
get the ball. He kept control of it just as it was going out of bounds.
39 caused the tackle.
Peyton Kelly caused the fumble back there in pursuit.
3-yard line.
I didn't see who actually made the recovery, but he did an awesome job of keeping himself
Yes.
in bounds to get the actual turnover. Wow, huge for the Vikings, 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line of the Gophers.
The ball was fumbled. It was really right there on the sideline. Had to make the recovery and stay in bound in order to get that
Defense
possession.
again, trips to their left. Hewlett behind Morris in the pistol in the backfield. Here's the snap. Hewlett over the left
There
guard.
you go,
He'll
kid.
get across the 15 to about the 13-yard line. That's 5-yard gain. Thank you, Steve.
Boy, was that 5? That looks like a 6 or 7.
It looks like it from here, unless you have trifocals, and then you'll see that it's a 5-yard gain.
We're in it. So where we are we're at the
Now,
40-yard line.
Nick Saban would say that looks like 10 yards and a first down.
He would say that.
All right, trips to the left, no one to the right. Hewlett moves to the left side of Morris in the backfield. 2nd and 5. Here's the snap. Hewlett takes it up the middle over the left guard. He gets up to about the 11 before he gets pushed backwards. Let's see where they mark him down.
Looks like the 11.
So possibly a 2-yard gain.
5 plays, 5 handoffs.
Tackle was by number 6, Christian Cross. Oh, don't ask me about Chris Cross. Speaking of the 70s and 80s music, Sailing
Yes.
takes me away.
You take me away.
Well, Chris Cross made that tackle, and he crisscrossed the field to get there.
Now, this just says how much younger I am than you, because Criss Cross is a totally different group that I know of from the 80s.
Oh, okay. Well, that was probably 70s, really. All right, 3rd down and 3. At the 11, got to get to the 8-yard line. Man in motion coming across. That's Bledsoe. Morris is back. Throws over the middle. It's caught. Oh, and he drops down
I
at the
think he's gonna get it.
9-yard. They mark him at the 8.
They're going to give it to him.
Oh, man, it's going to be close. Let's see what they say. That was Brendan Bias that made that catch. Bledsoe came in motion. They're calling
down.
it 4th down and about 9 inches. No, let's see, 18 inches. Not quite a yard. And the Vikings are going to go for it. They're going to come out with 3 receivers to the right. Hewlett in the backfield to the right of Morris. Huge 4th down here. Hewlett will take it around the left tackle. He did not make it, I don't believe. Let's see what they say.
Boy. They tried to go off tackle. I don't know if they would have had more room if they'd have gone straight ahead, but hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked that ball just to go straight up the middle. The other thing I think I would have liked, let's see if you can go on a 2nd or 3rd down and draw this team off sides again.
Yeah.
It's happened once or twice
If
already.
you have the correct cadence, you might
Yep.
be able to do that. When you string it out like that, one benefit is you string out their defense. The other unbenefit is you string out your blockers
Right.
as
It's
well.
True.
So, but the interesting call on 4th down and a half a yard or so. Now the Gophers come out with trips to the left, single to the right, one in the backfield to the left of the quarterback. Here's a snap. Quarterback keeper running this side. He has a crease across the 10, 15, 20. He gets outside to about the 25-yard line before he is pushed out of bounds by Aaron Fox, the other of the Fox brothers.
Nice pickup. And again, their running backs, they're not trying to throw at all. I'm not saying that they can't, but it is simply, I'm going to get the ball and I'm going to make the play.
And that was
on that particular one, they did.
And that was Savion Red,
Yep.
who was playing quarterback that time and had the keeper all the way around, about a 16-yard gain or so. It's 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Savion Red staying in at QB. Yep.
All right, they come out with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 in the backfield with the quarterback. Here's a snap. Handoff. He goes around all the way out to the
That's
outside.
a hold.
And he is collided at the 31-yard line. The tackle started at this just inside the sideline, and the scrum kind of followed out of bounds. GrandPrairie coaches were asking for a flag because he went down out of bounds, but it was started inbounds in the momentum, and there's just not much room over there either. You're going to run into players.
GrandPrairie coaches were asking for that flag. Lamar
Yeah.
coaches were asking for a hold, so it evens out, right?
There you go. All right, so it's 2nd down and 5 for the Gophers at their own 31-yard line. They come out now, twin receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. one in the backfield. You got a tight end just off the line of scrimmage. Vikings have 3 up front, 3 behind that. Steps back, throws deep on this side, and it is in and out of the hands of number 11, Miles.
16.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, number 16, Kelton Moore. He's only a sophomore for the Gophers.
You know, they haven't thrown very much tonight, and it's almost like, hey, are some of those defensive backs getting lulled to sleep just a little bit? But the play was there, simply went off his fingertips.
Amarian Fox, Victor Stevens out there defending on that play. And you know, and you just said they haven't thrown that much tonight. Well,
No.
They average about almost 3 times as many yards rushing, or 2.5 times, as they do passing. So that kind of makes sense. Now they have all 3 receivers out to the right side. Trips right. 1 in the backfield with the quarterback just to his right. Looks like it's Savion Red at quarterback again.
Watch the quarterback keep. He's done this time and time again tonight.
Here's the snap. He keeps it out to the right. He's getting strung out over there. He'll get across 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 40, 30. Has not stepped out of bounds yet, and he is going to go the distance, and no markers down, and nothing indicating he went out of bounds, I don't think.
They've run that play over and over again. And most of the time, Lamar has been able to contain him. That particular time, got outside and simply beat the defense.
Well, I saw one of the officials on the far side drop a black marker of some sort around the 40-yard line, but he went back and picked it up. Actually, one of the Lamar coaches picked it up for him. All right, here's the point after attempt for the Gophers, trying to tie this thing up. The snap, the hold. The snap was a little bit high, but the hold is good. The kick is good. And the new score, Lamar 7, Grand Prairie 7.
Well, not exactly the start that you want. That is a scoring drive. Only 4 plays for the Gophers. 1 pass, an incompletion, 3 runs, and pick up a total, get this, 4 plays, 91 yards. Only took 2 minutes and 16 seconds off the clock. Ended with a 69-yard touchdown run, 7-7. Not the start that we wanted, but there's time to turn this around.
Hey, Javier Najera, one of our spotters and who does the halftime and the pregame show with you, just pointed out the kicker for Grand Prairie. He's a freshman, but what he pointed out, his last name is Alvarez Najera. So
Really?
he's trying to claim fame through association. Love it. Love to see that stuff. All right, the Vikings now have 1 man deep all the way back. I say all the way at the 15-yard line deepest. We have 2 upbacks at around the 27 to 32-yard line. That's going to be Derek Bledsoe deep for the Vikings. He's now at about his own 13-yard line, now up to the 15.
A lot of the kickers do this now, but that ball is almost straight up and down.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see another squib kick type thing here.
29 kicking now, different kicker.
He must be the kickoff kicker.
Yep.
It does go up in the air, a bit of a pooch kick. It's going to bounce. Bledsoe picks it up at the 15. He's across the 20, 25, up the middle 30. He'll get to the 34-yard line. So a pooch kick that bounced just in front of Derek Bledsoe, but fortunately he kind of bounced up toward him and didn't go off to the side because, man, a kickoff is a live ball. So if you don't get it, it's trouble.
Had a little bit of a lane to run through, and did pick up some decent yardage.
He got 19 yards on that return. He picked it up, I believe, at the 15-yard line.
Good field position starting off for the Vikings. I'm anxious to see. I think every play has been a run so far. Are they going to continue to feed the ball to Hewlett, or are we going to work in a pass or two here?
Well, we'll have to see. We had twins to the right. Now McCoy goes across. Now we have twins to the left. Here's a snap. Morse throws deep. He's going to overthrow. Oh, it's intercepted. Oh, my goodness. It's intercepted by Grand Prairie. There was no flag for offsides, which the nose guard jumped offsides. And all the Viking linemen are going, what are you doing? How did you not throw a flag for offsides?
How is that not offsides?
Number 5 on the interception.
It was intercepted by number 5, Alex Torres, for the Gophers.
Bill, you saw it. The offensive linemen sat there, and they're all with their hands just saying, wait a second, that's offsides.
Right.
I mean, it was obvious, right?
It sure seemed to be. Obvious to everyone but the men with the yellow flags.
And unfortunately, they're the ones that matter.
There
Good
you
night.
go. All right, well, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Gophers at their own 33-yard line. Defense has to come back out on the field.
Yeah, one play and out for the Vikings there.
He was overthrowing Brendan Bias to begin with, but then they got kind of a little bit tangled up. I'm not saying there's interference or anything at all because they were both playing the ball, but unfortunately the overthrown ball was snagged by the defender.
Watch this quarterback.
Twins to the right, single to the left. It's a handoff. He goes to the right guard, up the middle, still on his feet across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So that's going to be about a 5-yard gain for the Gophers there. Now, Richie, earlier in the first half, we had used the term hands on their hips.
Yeah.
And one of our viewers, again, we've got viewers all over the country, even internationally in Canada, but Mindy from Oregon says, hands on hips, I'm new. What does that mean? Well, literally, it means the defense for GrandPrairie at that time, they were so winded having to play up speed or up-tempo football that they were trying to get a breath of air with their hands on their hips. So that's a signal that the defense is struggling. Well, the Lamar defense out on the field again already here in the second half. Here's a handoff. He's going to come around this side. He's going to get tackled at about the 37-yard line. He was hit at the 35, stumbles forward, falls forward to the 37.
Boy, they gave
the tackle was by number 26, Braylon Cole, one of our junior defensive backs. So it'll be 3rd down and 1.
Third down and 1, real short yardage. They've gone to that quarterback keep quite a few times on this play. Oh, a bunch formation.
Okay, one receiver out to the right, everyone else on or off the line of scrimmage. Is going to be a keeper. He'll find a hole up the middle, 40, 45, 50.
Oh, boy.
That's off to the races, 30, 20, 10, and he'll score another touchdown. Wow. Well, just as we were saying at the beginning of the second half or end of halftime, Savion Red seemed to be frustrated. He is running at will now.
Yeah, he is.
And all of a sudden it's 13-7.
64-yard run right there by GrandPrairie. Boy, the first one went outside. This one was right up the middle. Looked like that they Vikings were going to make a play in the backfield, and it didn't pan out for them.
Is this your cousin?
Yes.
Javi? Yes. Alvarez Najera. The kick is up. It's good. No, it's no good. I'm sorry. Wide left. Wow, it was a low kick. He's not your cousin anymore. All right. Well, now that's important because in a close ball game, an extra point can make a difference, as it did a week ago when South GrandPrairie beat GrandPrairie 34-33. All right. The score now: GrandPrairie 13, Lamar 7.
So, the scoring drive. We have the air conditioner blowing. The scoring drive, 3 running plays, only took 38 seconds. Was a touchdown, a 64-yard run. Your score right now is GrandPrairie 13, Lamar 7. This is a good time to regroup and I don't know if you want to continue to set up the run or what you want to do here, but
you're going to have to start passing again. And they did have a pass play on that last one. They ended up in an interception. But
did you get the feeling the only reason he threw that is he thought it was offsides?
I think he was going to throw anyway.
I think he was going to throw, but
I do believe he thought he had a free play.
Yeah.
I think they were going to go ahead and throw deep. Derek Bledsoe deep for the Vikings. And quite a turnaround here in the third quarter with 4:49 to go. It's changed from a 7-0 Lamar lead to 13-7 GrandPrairie lead. Momentum has shifted, but the Vikings can regain control of this thing if they'll stay focused.
Yeah, you can't get down here.
Here's the kick. It's a kick in the air. Bledsoe fields it at the 9. He comes across the 10, 15. He's going to get wrapped up at about the 12-yard line. That's where they're going to mark him down, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. He tried
17-yard line. My bad. 8 yards on the gain.
Tried to change his direction and just wasn't as fast as what the defense was on that, or what the coverage was.
So an 8-yard return by Bledsoe. The Vikings will start off 1st and 10 at the 17.
Let's see if the Vikings make a little bit of an adjustment. It looks like it's still Hewlett in the backfield.
They're going to come out now with twins to the left, single to the right. Hewlett behind Morris in the pistol formation. A tight end on the left side. Hewlett takes a handoff, and he is hit in the backfield. And number 70, I believe, no, 67, George Vitaki. Wow, he's listed 6 feet, 399 pounds.
Wow, goodness
I
gracious.
think that's where the scale stops because, again, we've seen other players for Trinity and some other places. They just stop at 399, and he just blew right in there. He was born in the backfield.
Looks like his family is all just below us with signs for him.
2nd and 12 at the 15. Twins to the left, single to the right. Here's a snap. Fake handoff. Pass over the middle, caught by Teahum at the 30. It'll be a first down for the Vikings at the 34-yard line.
Nice play. Nice play.
Yes. Now, here's what's interesting, and Skinner mentioned this early in the season on one of the coaches' shows. Teahuma was originally a wide receiver, I believe. He got moved to defender when they were having some COVID and other health issues. Now it looks like he's able to come back and play receiver again. But he has played a lot of defense over the years as well. Now twins to the left, single to the right. A big first down for the Vikings at their own 34-yard line. Here's a snap. Morris gets out of one tackler in the backfield, throws to a wide-open Bledsoe. He gets to the 40, still not down at the 41-yard line. He kept his knee from going down at the 38 when he reached out for that ball. Jaden Morris did a fantastic job of evading a sack, spun out, went to his left, and found Bledsoe pretty wide open.
He looked dead to right in the backfield and was able to get out. And by the way, Bledsoe was able to make one person miss too. Nice gain there. So it's going to be second down and what, 3?
3 at the 41-yard line, trying to get to the 44. Twins to the right, single to the left. Here's a snap. Morris rolls this way. He's trying to guide and direct his receivers. Wow, there was a lot of traffic there. The intended receivers, Jalen McCoy. There was a little bit of hands here and there, but no flag on the play.
No.
And that'll bring up 3rd down and 3. He was like triple covered, basically.
Yeah, and I wish now that I'd looked to the other side of the field to see what might have been over there. Morris was rolling, and there's no way he would have thrown to the other side. But
empty set now. Twins to the left, trips to the right. No one in the backfield. Hard count by Morris. Now a new play being called in from the sideline. May have been trying to get an offsides call with the cadence there. 7 seconds on the play clock. Here's the snap. Moore steps back. Throws across the middle. It's caught by Teahum at 35, at 45, 40, 35, 30. He's still on his feet. Won't go down easily. He gets to the 27-yard line. 3rd down and 3 from the 41 across midfield to the 27-yard line.
that is just a 35-yard pass. That's just a pitch and catch, you know.
Beautiful.
To a baseball guy, that's just a pitch and catch right there, really wide open.
These crossing patterns are working well, and it's a lot of it. Of course, Morris, the quarterback, Teahuma getting open as a receiver. Single left, twins to the right. Hewlett behind Morris in the pistol. Hewlett takes a handoff right up the middle, and he gets to the 20-yard line. That'll be a 7-yard gain right there. Now the Vikings offense has some momentum going all of a sudden.
Bill, he was a step away from breaking that for a touchdown. The one person was able to get around his arm.
Single to the left, twins to the right. Hewlett behind Morris in the pistol again. You have one tight end just off the line of scrimmage. That being number 6, Parker Schutte. Good to see him back in the lineup.
McCoy
Another
has single coverage.
player.
McCoy has single coverage up top.
Here's a snap. Hewlett takes it up the middle. He'll get across the 20 to maybe the 19. Yeah, it looks like it'll be 3rd down and 1, maybe a little less than
2.
1. Let me see. They got to get to the 17. Yeah, it's hard to see the angles. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Thank you, Steve. 3rd down and 2. Trips to the right, twins left. Empty set in the backfield, meaning no running backs. Will Morris keep it on this one?
Maybe.
Now he goes up to the line of scrimmage with the new play called in from the sideline.
Watch bias on the flat. He's got someone on him now.
10 seconds on the play clock. Here's the snap. He steps back. He's flushed out of the pocket, throws over the middle, and it is caught in traffic.
Nice.
Oh, what a great catch by Brandon Bias at the 11-yard line and a first down. All right. He threaded the needle, as they say. And Coach DeLay had pointed this out to me a year or two ago on a coach's show. That quarterback is looking for a box 1 foot by 1 foot, moving with people chasing that receiver down. What a throw and what a catch.
And by the way, if that ball had been a foot behind him or a foot in front, it probably doesn't get caught. And behind him, it might even get intercepted.
Here's the handoff to Hewlett again. He gets up to almost the 6.
He bobbled it, ball. Did he keep it? They don't know. It wasn't moving. They gave it to him. Okay.
Yeah, he did bobble it, but he regained control, fortunately. And I thought I saw him wrap that other arm around it as he went diving forward. So that's going to bring up second down and 5, I believe, correct?
Yeah, Lamar.
Now they're saying on the 7.
They can get a first down.
I thought it was on the 6 also. They can get a first down at the 1 yard line. Second down and 6 at the 7. Single to the left, twins to the right. Here's a hand. No, it's a pass over to the corner of the end zone. And they're going to throw a flag, interference.
Yep.
Now, hopefully they will say defensive.
That's going to be defensive.
It was intended for Brandon Bias over in the end zone.
It looked like it looked like a little bit of a miscommunication. I think what Morris wanted him to do was run a fade pattern. He started coming back for the ball, but because of that, the defensive back was on him too much.
Now we had Elijah Homer in the backfield, who looked like he was going to take the handoff but didn't. So they're going to call it
holding.
Did he say prior to the snap?
He said prior to the snap.
I think he meant prior to the pass, because prior to the snap, you can't hold anyone unless you've already been off sides, but okay.
You can, but that's another problem.
That's an automatic first down, so it's first and goal for the Vikings at about the 3. At the 2.
Morris with the keeper.
Morris keeps it. He gets pushed forward, waiting for the call.
Give us the call.
Did he break the plane? The 2 line judges are going to confer.
Waiting. I know
they're going to say he didn't make it. Well, that guy's wrong. That was first and goal. This will be second and goal. And that's the end of the third quarter. Yeah, Steve, don't pay attention to that guy holding the stick. He's wrong. But it was an automatic first down on the holding. But I'm glad you saw that. Yeah. So this will bring up second down and goal.
Yeah. Where we are on the far
we're on the left-hand 40-yard line.
We are. We're on the west end of the press box, and it's challenging to sometimes see things from the other end. For one, the coaches right next door have all of their blinds up, and so we have to kind of see in between the blinds.
We're going to see their plays and then transmit that somehow over the interweb to our coach.
Not to mention figure out what the playbook means and all that kind of stuff. So, we're building some momentum again, and that let's hope that missed extra point comes back to haunt the Gophers. Nice drive so far. Nice drive. It's you've got to almost let's see. Started at the 34, I believe it was. I could be wrong on that, but you've got a 60-something yard drive, and you are down at the 1 yard line.
Second down and goal. What a way to start the fourth quarter. If this can happen here, about 24 inches from the end zone. We come out with Bledsoe split far out to the right, Bias far to the left. Hewlett in the backfield in front of Morris.
Power formation.
The way it was set up, it was interesting. Hewlett. Now what's going on? There's a conference by the officials. I think they're trying to figure out, is the visitors' concession stand better or the home concession stand better? Now they break up their conference. Where's the Frito pie? Exactly.
Well, they just looked to see the length of the line, and assumed that it was the
all right,
home
here we
side.
come back out. Same receivers out right and left. McCoy and Hewlett just off the line of scrimmage. Morris takes the ball. He's going to keep it. He's pushing forward, and they're going to say maybe he lost 6 inches. They're going to say he's at or inside the 1 yard line.
Doesn't really look like they've lost or gained anything. And when you're on the 1 foot line or something, doesn't matter a whole lot. You might actually want a little more room.
They're putting the ball back, about 4.5 inches further away from the goal line. These trifocals are great for that kind of stuff. Did I mention yet I got new glasses?
You did.
First time in 10 years. All right, now we've got twins to the left, twins to the right, single left. Hewlett behind Morris in the backfield. Here's the snap. Hewlett takes it. He's wrapped up in the backfield at the 5-yard line.
67.
Yep.
That's number 67 again.
Vitaki came in there, and he's a bit of a bowling ball, if you will. Definitely a nose tackle type player, and he simply stood up his blocker and was in the backfield.
The big guy can move.
Yeah, he can.
So 4th down and goal at the 4-yard line. Blake Ford setting up for a 21-yard field goal, just almost about an extra point, 1 yard further back. Here's a snap. The hold. The kick is up. Looks good. It's good. Well, we get some points out of that. Now it's a 3-point margin. Vikings trailing 13-10 with 10:32 to go in the fourth quarter.
This is where we need the defense to step up and make a play. A turnover is great, a stop, anything like that you can keep some of the momentum. So that is a Lamar Viking scoring play. 62 yards, 12 plays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pass plays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running plays. 4:49 off the clock. It does lead to a field goal and gives us a current score of the GrandPrairie Gophers 13, your Lamar Vikings 10.
Well, we're going to have to find a way to contain Savion Red.
Yep.
As frustrated as he was with the inability to make a lot of yardage overall in the first half, he has torched the Vikings for 2 long runs and touchdowns in the third quarter. Now we've got to find a way to keep the ball either out of his hands or contain him.
Well, the best thing to do is keep the ball on offense, and then that makes it so that guys like that don't score. That's not our option now. Like I said, turnover would be absolutely fantastic, but a defensive stop is what they need.
It looks like deep for the Gophers, Drew Damper and Keithon Davis. Blake Ford for the Vikings, of course, has it teed up. Now the Gophers bring an extra, or their, 11th player onto the field, and the coaches call timeout. And, I'll tell you this, it may sound silly now, but that's a waste of a timeout.
Sure
you don't
is.
want to burn one on a kickoff because in a close game like this, you're going to want all those timeouts or as many of them as you can have at the end of the game if you're trying to catch up or score those final points. So,
Bill, did you see? I didn't see anything off. They had 11 people on the field, you've got a kicker that's probably going to kick it into the end zone anyways. I don't. Maybe they saw something that I didn't see. I don't know that Lamar was going to do an onside kick, but
no, I don't think they were. I think it was just the confusion, and with the guy going on at the last minute, maybe they wanted to also make sure they didn't get penalized for something. But
maybe.
Kind of an interesting. It's almost like they didn't need to call that timeout. Good point.
Probably so. Now we look silly if they kick an onside kick there and recover that, and the coach says, "Man, I should have called a timeout." But it looked like that ball was going to be kicked deep.
I don't expect the Vikings to try an onside kick in this situation.
No.
You're only down by 3. You got 10.5 minutes to go. They're not desperate yet. Blake Ford has the ball. It's kind of close to straight up and down. It's not angled much toward him, but he's in kind of traditional kickoff situation mode position. Kicks it deep. It's in the air, and that is going to go into the end zone 3 yards deep, and he does wisely take a knee back there. For a minute, it looked like he's going to bring it out.
So many of the kickers now, they have that straight up and down look to the football.
Yes.
And, things change. Back in the day, as they say, you'd have a little more of a slant where the ball would be slanted a little back towards where the kicker was. And nowadays, they seem to want to kick it from an up and down standpoint.
Sure enough. All right, so it looks like they've brought Adrian Wilson in at quarterback now for the Gophers. Okay, no, it's Savion Red.
One is wide out, wide right.
Here's a snap. Handoff. He'll take it around the left end, breaks through, across the 30, 35 to the 40. 45, he'll be finally run out of bounds somewhere shy of the 50-yard line, 48-yard line, 49. 49-yard line. 24 yards on that run. Went around the far left side.
This second half, they have really shown their speed, their quickness, their ability to get outside of the defense. And Lamar simply has not contained them the way they did in the first half.
Twins to the right, single to the left. 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Got to get to the 41 of Lamar for the first down.
Looks like it is a man coverage on for Lamar.
Here's the snap. Quarterback keeper over the right guard. Big hole. Breaks the tackle at the 45. He's across the 30, 35-20, 15-10, 5.
Boy.
Touchdown. Another explosive play by the Gophers.
Wow.
And Savion Red, for
again.
everything he didn't get in the first half, he is making up for it here in the second half.
Yeah, he is.
With some stellar play behind some great blocking.
You know, he's a really good player, and they obviously did something in the first half that they are not doing right now. That play was going for 2.
Setting up to go for 2 points to try to make up for the kick they missed earlier.
They have they're in an
it's
off
that swinging
formation.
gate type formation, but they didn't move once they were set. They just came out like that. Now Lamar calls a timeout to try to better defend against that thing. The score is 19-10. If they get the 2-point conversion, that makes it an 11-point game.
Yeah.
Lamar has to get at least a field goal, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion to tie it up. If they get the 1 point, then they're up by 10. More of a conventional lead, but they want to get that extra point out of it because they know what can happen in a close game.
And you're looking at now, the score is 10. The score is 19-10. But the other important thing is there's 10 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game. So the way things have been going, the Gophers have been scoring with less than a minute, but the Vikings have been eating up the clock a little bit, and so the Vikings may be looking at, we may only have 2 possessions left.
Now they've put it back to a traditional kick for the single point after.
Interesting.
Alvarez Nahera to kick the extra point, supposedly. Bad snap, it's wide, and the kick
is wide
left again.
Yeah.
And here's what happened. The snap was off of center. The holder had to get it, spin the ball the proper way. By the time he did that, the kicker is hurried now because you got people coming in, and he hooked it to the left. Speaking of hooked it, did you see the Oklahoma comeback against Texas on Saturday?
I did.
The biggest deficit they've ever overcome to win a ball game, 21 points.
When you have
You thought I was going somewhere else, didn't you?
When you have a rivalry like that. So 2 plays, 2 runs, 31 seconds. It ends with a 24-yard run. They missed the extra point. Our current score is GrandPrairie 19 and your Lamar Vikings 10. Yeah. So they've had 3 scoring drives in the second half. 2 minutes and 16 seconds for one, 38 seconds for another, and 31 seconds for the third.
Not a good trend.
No, it's not.
Yeah, same play. Exactly right. Well, the Vikings need to contain that big explosive play.
Well, and I'll tell you right now, what they need right now is they need a score. It probably needs to be a touchdown. We didn't really say it afterwards, but being on the 1-yard line and not scoring a touchdown is frustrating now because how would you like that score to be 19-14 right now instead of 19 to 10?
Derek Bledsoe is deep for the Vikings on his own 15-yard line. There's not much wind right now. All right, Alvarez Nahera to kick off, supposedly. No, unless this other guy kicks it short. That's what's going to happen. Oh, they do a little razzle-dazzle on the kickoff. The kick rolls into the end zone for a touchback.
Yes.
And the one kicker, he almost stepped off sides in the little trickeration. Yeah.
Interesting, yep. Well, Lamar has the ball on offense. At this point, it doesn't matter if you want to run the ball. It doesn't matter if you want to throw the ball. You don't necessarily have to score quick, but with the score 19-10, you need 2 scores. And with them missing the extra point, a traditional 7 points is okay for right now. looks like the standard team. I think I see Hewlett out there. Morris is obviously going to be your quarterback. I do see Hewlett.
Jalen McCoy is in also. A lot of discussion going on now. The Vikings have asked for the ball to be put on the close hash mark, opening up the right-hand side for them side of the field.
Nobody's
no one out wide. Here's a snap. Morris rolls out on a bootleg. He's got Bledsoe open. That'll be about a 9-yard gain, maybe 9.5 yards.
Yep.
I believe just shy of the first down, but that's okay. You get 9.5. They're going to say a 9-yard gain.
A lot of zip on that pass. That was a rollout. And,
beautiful bootleg when he curled over and
yep.
found Bledsoe open over there. Now they're going to come out with twins left, twins right. And it looks like Hewlett in the backfield to the left of Morris. Now
single coverage up top.
Bledsoe comes in motion, takes a handoff. He's up to the 35, 40, has a little bit of a hole, 45-yard line, and he'll get 16 yards, I believe.
Did you see the daylight I did just a second ago?
Oh,
it looked like he was going to gain even more than he did.
Beautiful.
Fantastic play, nice run, followed his blockers as long as he could, and then made a nice cut to secure the first down.
So 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line now. Trips to the right, single to the left. One in the backfield with Morris, the quarterback. Hard count. Now a new play being called in from the sideline. That's frequent for these Vikings.
Looks like man defense, single safety.
Here's a snap. Steps back. He's in the pocket. Throws over the middle to Tehama, who the pass is broken up by number 4, Sergio Rodriguez. He had the ball, but Rodriguez timed that perfectly from a defender standpoint. Knocked him just in time to jar the ball loose for the incompletion.
It would have been nice if he could have hung on to that ball. He's got a height advantage on him.
Trips right, single left again. Hewlett in the backfield. Now another new play being called in. Morris goes up and calls it out to the line of scrimmage, to the offensive line.
Big guy's not in the middle.
Here's a snap. Steps back in the pocket. He's getting chased out of the pocket. Rolls to his right. Throws downfield. And, in and out of the hands of Brandon Bias. And a flag comes in. It's going to either be holding or interference, I would think, because Brandon Bias didn't touch anyone.
I think it's going to be a hold prior to the pass. I think that's what they're going to
Not
call.
prior to the snap?
Not prior to the snap.
As the official called out earlier. That would be a wonderful break for the Vikings if that's what happens here.
Sure didn't call him on Martin last week.
Let's see. No. Stop it, Avi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Was that out loud?
Here comes the official call from the white cap, the head referee.
There we
Again, how's he? Maybe he's saying prior to the pass.
I think he is. He's got
He
a bit
must
of. He's got a bit of an accent.
It sounds like prior to the snap. And I'll tell you what, I got a chart right here. It's going to show you. It sounds like Ross Perot.
Little bit. I don't think it is Ross Perot.
It's about the people, not about me. All right, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line and go for territory. Trips to the right, one in the backfield. That's Hewlett.
Pass.
Fake handoff. Morris has time. Throws to the far sideline. Is caught by Brandon Bias at the 35. Breaks the tackle at the 30. Gets to the 25-yard line. Falls forward. And that's going to be another Viking first down. That's 20 yards on that play.
Nice play.
I've got to tell you, Jaden Morris has just matured as a quarterback through this season so much.
Really has. We would seen games early in his career where first off that pass doesn't get there.
Yes.
I want to say one other thing. Fantastic job by this offensive line to give him that much time.
Trips to the left, twins to the right, empty set in the backfield. Now a new play being called in again.
Man coverage if you want to
Still
hit.
empty set in the backfield.
McCoy.
Here's a snap. Moore steps back. He throws deep to the end zone. Derek Bledsoe catches it in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings.
Fantastic play. So
wow.
The Gophers were set up man-to-man coverage all across the way. Single safety. Safety didn't get over in time. Beautiful pass. Beautiful catch in the end zone. VFND.
Oh, my goodness, what a beautiful set of passes on that drive.
And you only take up less than 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes on that drive.
So now the score, 19-16 in favor of the Gophers. The extra point being set up for Blake Ford. Pretty important extra point here.
It is.
The kick is up, and it's good. And then
flag.
after the play, a penalty flag comes, so some kind of a dead ball. And they're looking at the Gophers. I think there's going to be a penalty against GrandPrairie. So the kick is good. Here comes the official call by the Whitecap, the nickname for the head referee. Leaping? Oh,
yeah.
Maybe that means, and you can jump, but you cannot push off of someone else.
Can you
And
jump
especially
over?
not-
Can you jump over the line? I don't.
You can jump as long as you do it on your own.
Got
You
it.
can't
Got
push
it.
off of someone like leapfrog. Yeah, and since it's personal foul, he may have tried to leap off of an offensive
May have.
lineman because you may get called leaping, but it wouldn't be a personal foul. Okay, here's what's cool.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty, right?
Yes.
That means we're kicking off from their 45-yard line.
Yeah.
You squib it, maybe you even try an onside kick.
Yep.
I don't know.
Not quite as much risk as a ball in your own side of the field.
Oh, yeah. Now, you're not in a desperation mode where you need an onside kick.
Well,
because you're only down by 8:50 to go in the game. But this is a situation where you might try it.
Yeah. Really quick,
Yeah.
75-yard
Sorry.
scoring drive, 5 plays, 4 passes, 1 run, minute 39. Fantastic pass from Morris. And the score right now, 19 to 17. GrandPrairie still with the 2-point lead.
And, of course, Blake Ford filled the prescription for the Randall Mill Pharmacy extra point, which makes it a 2-point game.
Playing for an onside.
That ball now almost exactly straight up and down.
It is.
It's either going to be a squib or a pooch. You got to know because you got to take advantage of this potential field position. The Gophers have a lot of people up front. It's a squib kick. It bounces. It's fumbled. It's loose.
And Lamar may have
And let's
this.
see
Lamar
what
may
happens.
have this.
The ball was bobbled around. Let's just wait and see what it is. I think that might be, but let's just be patient.
Came off of the gopher twice.
Of course, some Gophers, of course, are pointing their way. The Vikings are pointing their way.
Lamar is celebrating.
There is a scrum. You know there's a fight for the ball down there.
There is. That ball may have changed. Yes, football! So
Yes.
you mentioned this earlier. This is a perfect situation because even if you don't recover the ball, you're still giving them the ball on the 20, 25-yard line.
Maybe.
It's no different than kicking it in the end zone.
Yes.
So
34 who recovered it. 34.
Oh, thank you. Number 34. Oh, Cooper Sunshine Barnard makes the fumble recovery off of, and I think, did y'all say it hit at least 2, if not 3 Gopher players?
definitely hit 1.
2,
Wasn't
thank you.
able to recover it, and then another Gopher player tried to recover it, and simply the Vikings beat GrandPrairie to the ball.
Big momentum has definitely shifted for the Vikings.
Blake Ford is already in range.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
No kidding.
Steve just pointed out, very good. We're already in Blake Ford's field goal range if that should have to
Absolutely.
happen. The Vikings come out 1st and 10 at the Gopher 25-yard line. Twins to the left, single to the right. Hewlett behind Morris in the pistol formation. Some movement on the defensive line. Nothing off sides. Zone read. Pass over this way. Short hops
Yep.
it because Jalen McCoy was the intended receiver. But number 4, Sergio Rodriguez, was making a break on the ball and incomplete pass.
Yep.
And I think Morris had the
Yes.
wherewithal to throw it low, and so it would not be intercepted.
You know, Bill, sometimes the pass that you don't make makes all the difference.
Sure enough.
And
Second down and 10, trips to the left, twins to the right, empty set in the backfield.
he's got single coverage up top if he wants to go. I think that's McCoy.
67 not in the ballgame. Nope.
The play
Some
clock down
confusion.
to 7 seconds.
A little bit
6,
of confusion on GrandPrairie's part.
5, here's a snap. Morris
Nice
is
play.
going to keep it out of the pocket across the line of scrimmage. He'll get about 2 yards to the 23-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8.
Picked up 2 or 3 yards on that play, and really there was nothing there. There wasn't any place for him to throw.
And y'all were pointing out, our great spotters, that George Vataki, the big, listed at 399 pounds, 6-foot defensive lineman, was not in the game, which kind of gave that opportunity to run it up the middle since you had the spread offense. All right, now they're going to come out with single to the right, twins to the left.
Is Vataki back in there?
No, Hewlett behind Morris in the pistol. McCoy goes in motion. He stops.
Expect
Bootleg out by Morris.
Oh,
he
hit
rolls.
four.
He throws across
Nice.
the middle. Bledsoe catches. And he drops it. Very good defense. Bledsoe had it. Only took one step, and he got knocked loose.
Yep. So nice pass. Just a nice drag route right over the middle, and could have been caught. Probably should have been caught.
Well,
it
great
still,
defense.
It was. Still wasn't going to be a first down.
Okay, 40-yard field goal attempt by Blake Ford. And the wind really is pretty much non-existent right now.
Pretty much, yep.
It's going to be a straight-on kick. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. It's got the distance. And it's good. Blake Ford, that thing was good for another 5 or 10 yards at least on distance. It was beginning to peel off to the right. But, oh, my gosh, what a weapon to have when you can go for a 40-yard field goal, and it's not like, oh, is there a chance?
Right. Bill, his kicks go so far, and they look so effortless.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes you have kickers, and, if I'm out there, it's going to look like, trying to kick with all my might. It doesn't even look that, and that's a 40-yard kick.
Now, how big are extra points in football?
Boy, no kidding.
2 missed extra points by GrandPrairie gives the Vikings the 1-point lead, 20-19, less than 8 minutes to go. But, I'm sorry? And now the Vikings defense has got to make a stand here and not have the explosive play, especially not for a touchdown.
7 minutes, 53 seconds left. I don't think you – well, I think you kick it deep. But, but really it hasn't mattered much as far as field position for them.
They've had a couple of decent returns, but you just kick this thing out of the end zone.
I think you're right. 2 total yards, 3 plays, 2 passes, 1 run, led to a 40-yard field goal. Lamar on top, 21.
Here's the
20
kick.
to
It's
19.
up. It's deep. It's going to be bounced at the 1. Oh, it doesn't go in the end zone. Picked up at the 3, and he's at the 5. He's got nowhere to go. He's wrapped up at the 5-yard line. Oh, my goodness. People talk about punts, getting them inside the 10 or the 5, whether it was designed or not.
Right.
That ball bounced at the 2-yard line. The receiver was in the end zone. He couldn't get up in time to return it, so he goes and picks it up after it's bounced once. Well, between the hang time and that
Bill,
bounce.
flag on the play. Continue.
Okay, that gave the Vikings coverage team plenty of time to get down there. So he only got a 3-yard return on that from the 2 to the 5. Now there is a flag on the play.
And that was 14 on the.
And it was back up at around the 26-yard line.
Boy.
Don't know if y'all could hear that, but an unnecessary roughness call, personal foul. Wow, that brings the ball out from the 5 to the 20. So instead of being in the shadows of the goalpost, but still not the 25. But
yeah,
my
but
goodness.
that's a huge turn, and I didn't see the play. I didn't see.
I was watching down here. We'll have to see if. All right, 1st and 10 at their own 20. 3 receivers close in on the left-hand side, showing possible corner blitz from this side by the Vikings. Here's a handoff, stringing it out to the right side. He gets out of one tackler, but they're containing him. No, he misses another tackler. There's a 3rd tackle broken. There's a 4th at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Finally gets run out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. 4 different people had a chance at him in the backfield. He just stepped all around them.
He did. There just wasn't a Viking player that was close enough that could wrap him up. He's not a big guy, but boy, he is elusive.
Turned a potential loss into a 43-yard run.
Yeah,
and that was number 10, the carrier, Drew Damper.
Yeah, and he's had about 3 or 4 plays tonight of that similar ilk.
Well, he didn't give up at any point. All right, 1st and 10 now for the Gophers at the Viking 37-yard line. They come out with, again, 3 receivers close on the left side, 1 split out to the right. There's 1 running back behind Savion Red. Here's a snap. It's a handoff. He stutter steps. He'll be stopped just across the line of scrimmage, maybe a 1-yard gain. We'll see if they give him that much.
Looks like they're saying right at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
What's interesting in this setup, they're going to say no gain. They've got 3 receivers, almost 2 of them stacked, just off the end of the line, the offensive line to the left side. That allows the Vikings to stay more compressed toward the box, so to speak.
It does.
Here they go again.
They seem to have done so much better when they've spread them wide.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to complain, though.
Nope, 3 receivers again to the close side of the left end.
Watch the draw play up the middle.
Here's a snap. Red takes it around the left guard. He'll break through. He's shoestring tackled by number 26, Braylon Cole.
Cole saved
the touchdown right there.
First down.
And they're going to say he got exactly the line to make at the 27-yard line.
The quarterback, whoever it is, whether it's Red or it's Wilson, boy, they're following their blockers. They're playing exceptionally well, and it just appears to me the Vikings were filling those gaps earlier in the game, not quite doing that the same way in the second half.
When they bunch those 3 together, it's almost always.
All right, now 3 receivers split way apart from each other to the right. 1 running back, quarterback keeper around the right end. He follows a blocker, but he gets wrapped up at about the 25-yard line. That's where he'll go down. He was wrapped up at about the line of scrimmage. And that's, again, going to be Braylon Cole making that tackle.
Nice defensive play. Was able to keep him right there at the line of scrimmage, and really a lot of that had to do with the defensive line holding the offensive players back.
2nd down and 8 from the 25-yard line for the Gophers. They trail by 1 point. 5:42 to go in the game. Clock rolling. Trips to the left, single to the right. 1 in the backfield with now Wilson, the quarterback. Takes a snap, stutter steps, throws over to the corner. It's caught, breaks a tackle, and he is going to get stopped at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line.
Wow. One of the Vikings was trying to make a dive for a possible interception. Another Viking almost had a tackle.
Mm-hmm. If that ball was almost tipped, looked like a linebacker that had filled the space in between, almost tipped it, and just simply the Gopher player got the catch and was able to spin out all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Now the Gophers are going to try to bunch things up at the line of scrimmage. They have 1 receiver. Looks like Wilson split out to the right. Red at the quarterback position. Now he goes up to tell signals to the offensive line. Steps back.
Watch the quarterback
First and goal at the 1. He goes in.
Easy.
Walks in. And touchdown Gophers. Now the game is at 25-20, waiting for the extra point attempt. If I were them, I would go for 2.
I think you have to, right? I mean, whether you get it or not, it means a whole lot.
And a lot of close games, yes, you do. Mm-hmm. But with the way the Gophers are scoring quickly on explosive plays, I don't think they're in the desperation position that most teams would be. But given the trouble they've been having with the kicking game, the snaps, the holds and everything, they're going to go for 2 right here. They have 2 receivers split out to the left, 1 to the right, empty set.
How about a safety right here for the Vikings?
Here's the snap. He's going to get wrapped up. He's pushing and pushing.
I don't think
he makes it across. He does not.
No, does not.
No, he is stopped at the half-yard line, if not even closer. Now this is interesting.
This is
because
real
now
interesting.
only 6 points is needed to win this game. So either 2 field goals or a touchdown. And the way it's going, we've had 2 field goals in this half. 25-20. What an interesting score.
5:22 left to go in the game. The Vikings have had several drives that lasted for something. I'd love to see a scoring drive that lasted about 4.5 minutes.
Or how about
right
5
here.
minutes and 21
Sure,
seconds?
I'm absolutely fine with that.
But it's got to be a touchdown if it takes up the whole clock.
That last drive, 80 yards, almost all runs, 1 single pass, 7 plays. 2 minutes and 31 seconds. The significant play was a 43-yard run, catch and run by the Gophers. Your current score is GrandPrairie 25 and the Lamar Vikings 20.
And some other games in the area in our district. South GrandPrairie has beat Sam Houston 42-21. Martin leads Bowie 68-14 at the beginning of the 4th quarter.
Wow.
All right. So, and here's what's interesting. about how this 25-20 score has come about. 6 points to that for the Vikings. It's not because of a missed extra point. It's 2 field goals. The 25-point represents 3 missed opportunities on extra points by the Gophers.
Right, right.
Derek Bledsoe deep for the Vikings, back at his own 13-yard line. Fake the onside kick. It's a relatively short kick. It bounces.
Let it go.
And goes out of bounds at the 8-yard
Wow.
line. So that'll put the ball, I believe, at the 30-yard line for the Vikings.
Kicking has not been great for GrandPrairie tonight.
They've struggled.
Several missed field goals, and I'm, if you want to do the fake deal where somebody runs across and pretends like they're going to kick it, that's fine. But have your kicker kick it
do
inside.
something good after that, yeah.
Don't kick it out of bounds. I mean, I know he's not trying to do that,
No,
Bill, but still. Well, this is most likely the most important drive of the game
definitely.
tonight.
Because, Richie, you really need to get a touchdown here. If you only come away with 3 points, you're going to leave time on the clock that GrandPrairie is going to probably score. I'm just saying the trend of how it's been going in this half. So you want that touchdown. Twins to the right, twins to the left. One in the backfield. Bledsoe in motion. He takes a little flip forward across the 30, 35, 40. Stutter steps, makes a move to the 45-yard line where he's stopped by number 11, Miles Johnson. But, wow, what a play. Bledsoe comes in motion out of the slot position, takes a little forward pitch from Morris, and he makes a couple of quick moves over there and gets to the 45-yard line.
When he got the edge, it was definite
44.
that he was going to be able to pick up the first down. It was just a matter of, was he going to break enough tackles or make enough guys miss to be able to get even more
yards. First and 10 at their own 44-yard line, trips to the left, single to the right. Hewlett in the backfield to the left of Morris. Now he wants him on the other side. Hewlett moves to the right side of Morris. Here's a snap. Morris rolls. He's going to keep it across the 45, 50,
Wonderful.
45, 40,
Wonderful.
35. Look at his speed across the 30-yard line. Steps out of bounds before having to take a hit, and I don't blame him. Your quarterback doesn't need to take unnecessary hits. He went from his own 44.
26 yards.
26 yards to the 30-yard line. This is the momentum the Vikings need.
This is never going to show up on any stats, but Tehuma drove his man.
Good point.
He made sure that corner followed him all the way to the end
Trips
zone.
Left, single to the right. Hewlett in the backfield to the left. Now he's to the right. Yes, a great. Thanks for giving the shout out and creds to Tehuma for making that block. 10 seconds on the play clock. Morris barking out the signals. Now 5 on the play clock. Here's a snap. Morris steps back, throws towards the end zone deep. Oh man!
My goodness gracious!
Jalen Humbles stopped short, and then Jalen McCoy, I believe, was going deeper, but that was way overthrown for McCoy.
I think that was intended to Humbles. I think Humbles.
I think he stopped short on the pattern.
I do too. That was almost
intercepted.
Yeah.
Whew. Second down and 10 for the Vikings.
Dude, you got to go down.
Oh, that's a good observation, Steve. The guy that's going to be covering Jalen Humbles is standing there with a leg cramp, and he should go down because Humbles can burn this guy if he's really got that cramp. Morris keeps it around the right end. He'll get across 25.
There you go. Smart. I was going to say this earlier, Bill. One of the things that Morris did was he ran out of bounds and it stopped the clock. On this particular play, he picked up all the yards he was going to be able to pick up, slid so that clock keeps running.
Official timeout. 22.
Except the clock is not running.
Now the guy it's stopped for the injured player, and unfortunately it's not serious. It's a cramped Charlie horse. But Steve, I'm glad you pointed that out because had that been a pass play, Humbles would have been able to burn that receiver. Now, you don't want to take advantage of someone, but, hey, if he doesn't come off the field or go down.
If we see that, Bill, doesn't the coach see that? Why don't you call a timeout? Get him off the field.
Well, right next door is the coaching staff. They should see it.
Agreed.
Exactly. All right. What's so funny?
I mean, if an old guy with trifocals can see that, right?
Well, and I was fortunate to have the more chronologically gifted Steve Langford. Do you have single vision lenses or do you have bifocals? Bye.
Okay.
I'm try.
I'm one short of you.
Okay. But you're taller than me.
He's gaining on you.
All right. Well, 3rd down and 2 for the Vikings. Now, Good thing is he slid, didn't get hit. Bad news is didn't get the first down. Trips to the left, single to the right. Hewlett in the backfield with Morris.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness. And the right guard for the right tackle for the Vikings just moved prematurely, and he's putting his hands over his head like, oh, my gosh. But, see, and that's the trouble. If somehow we gotten those extra 2 yards.
Agreed.
Now we're going to be 3rd and 7. And that's a lot tougher position.
What? No foul.
Oh, my gosh. How did they call
No foul.
waving? How'd they wave off that flag? The Grand Prairie coach is livid over here, and I don't blame him. Maybe they're saying the ball wasn't set for play. I don't know, but what a break for the Vikings. Now, most bunched up. Morris keeps it around this end. He's going to have the first down.
Oh,
and
there's a flag on the play.
Now, I think it's going to be a face mask against Grand Prairie.
Boy, that's
Let's
huge.
see what they say. I don't think it was holding on the Vikings. The Grand Prairie coaches don't look happy, but let's see what they say.
Boy, that's a 15-yarder, isn't it?
If it's face mask, it is.
We're waiting to see the officials. They know what they're going to call. We're just waiting for them to make the call. Oh, boy.
Oh, he was holding on the offense. Wow.
I was afraid of that. The wide receiver down there looked like he may have been holding just a little bit. Well, can we accept the 5-yard penalty and go back?
Yeah. Too late.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Now it's going to be 3rd and 12. Unless they do it from the spot of the foul, which sometimes it was from the spot of the foul. So it's 3rd down and 10.5.
Yep. Gracious.
Yes, 10.5 yards to go.
Probably 4 down
Twins
territory.
left, twins right. Hewlett in the backfield, possibly 4 down territory. We'll have to see what happens here. Probably not a quarterback keeper here. Moore steps back. He's got pressure. Throws across the middle to Jalen McCoy, and he goes incomplete. Boy, his protection just broke apart fairly quickly. Maybe he could have rolled out of the pocket, but he was pressured too much.
Bill, I might be tempted to call a timeout here and really think this through. Are you going to pick up a 4th down and 11?
Let me say this. On an incomplete pass, we just gained a half a yard. Because now it's 4th and 10 instead of 4th and 10.5.
Gracious.
All right, they're going to go for it. Trips to the right, single to the left. Hewlett in the backfield to the left of Morris. 4 minutes to go in the game. Now a new play being called in. Now they are calling
Lamar.
Lamar called timeout.
I think that's the smart play. Hey, let's make sure everybody's on the same page. Let's see what Grand Prairie is going to do defensively. They've mixed it up a little bit, Bill. They've run quite a bit of man coverage. They have a single safety that's going to roll over to the strong side, but that gives the coaches a chance to see, okay, what kind of defense are they coming out on a 4th down and 10, and let's call a play that we know we can be successful against that.
Richie, I believe you're correct. I just hate to see that second timeout get burned when you might need it on a final drive of the game. But
Maybe.
I understand, and that's just me being a little bit of a whiner. I mean, I think you're right. I think they're doing the correct thing because if you don't get this right, you may not have that opportunity later. So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have 15 timeouts here in a few minutes if you don't do this well. And 4th down and 10 is not easy. And you're probably going to have to throw the ball. If this was a 3rd or 4th and 2, at least there's an option.
Twin receivers to the right. One receiver out to the left. Hewlett in the backfield. One tight end just off the line of scrimmage. I believe that's Tanner Walker, not sure.
Boy, watch the blitz. They are
Here's
coming.
the snap. Quick throw out to the flat.
Throw it.
Now
Throw
it's
it.
another pass by Hewlett to the end zone.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Wow, just off his fingertips. Morris, I didn't even know that was a backwards pass at first, but I guess it was either sideways or just enough backwards to Hewlett, who then threw to the corner of the end zone just off the fingertips of Jalen McCoy.
So close.
Ball goes over on downs, and there is a injured Gopher player out of the end zone. I don't know if he hit that wall or what happened.
I can't. It looked like he ran into whatever band instrument was over there. But I thought it was a Vikings player. Am I?
Oh, you might be correct. I think it is a Viking player.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Is it Tehuma?
that's Tehuma, yeah. The one that the pass was thrown to. Boy.
Wow.
Bill, that was so close.
Just over his fingertips.
Here's the deal. You've got 3 minutes, 56 seconds. You've got to hold him here. You really, the problem is, you could probably hold them to a field goal and still win the game, but they're not going down there to kick a field goal.
All right, single receiver to the right. 3 bunched up to the left. 1 in the backfield with the quarterback. It's Savion Red, it looks like.
0 quarterback.
Here's a snap. He's going to keep it. He finds a hole across the middle. He goes across the 35. The 30 was the line of scrimmage. He's going to get about 8 yards.
Yep.
So 2nd down and 2 with the clock rolling.
They've run this play, I bet you 20 times tonight, where it's simply been quarterback gets it, runs straight up the middle.
2nd down and 2. Now they've got twin receivers split out from each other to the right. 1 receiver way out to the left. You've got 1 running back just to the left of the quarterback. You have a tight end just off the line of scrimmage on the far side. 4 seconds on the play clock. Here's a snap. Quarterback keeper around the left side. He gets some blockers. He gets across the 40-45 out to about the 46-yard line.
First down.
47. Well, 46.
First down, Gophers. 3 minutes left to go in the game. They're not doing anything fancy. They're doing the same things that they've been doing all game.
Well, I'll tell you what. They don't want that explosive play now. They want to drive down for the final score of the game.
Well, I don't know. I think if you can pick up 6 points here and you've got an 11-point lead, it really doesn't matter.
But you could see they were milking the play clock, it looked like.
Well, I think what he's trying to do is say, do not fumble the football.
There's 10 seconds on the play clock. They're breaking out of the huddle. 1 receiver way out to the left. 2 close on the right-hand side. Here's a snap. Quarterback keeper this way. He's across the 50. He gets tripped up by Eric Olivares, and the quarterback will land down at the 46-yard line. Shy of a first down, but the clock rolls. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Olivares made a nice kind of cutting tackle there. 2nd down and 2 at the 46-yard line.
He's going to hang on to that timeout for as long as he can.
Wide receiver out to the right, 3 to the left, bunched up again.
Back up 33. There you go.
Confusion on the defense.
Well, and
pointing out motion.
yeah. Here's a snap. Quarterback keeper over the left side. He's wrapped up after the first down, and it's going to get down to about the 41-yard line. Lamar uses their final timeout right now.
Yeah. There's a minute and 38 seconds, 25-second clock. Let's just do a little math in our head. 50, that would be 75. That's going to be a minute and 15 seconds. So really the hope that you have right there is you've got to do 3 bang, bang, bang. You might have a couple seconds at the end, but, boy, it looks like Lamar's going to come up just a little bit short on the clock tonight. Minute 38. Ball's going to be at the, 41-yard line?
I still say there's enough votes that haven't been counted. I'm not going to project a winner yet.
Okay, that's probably smart. Probably smart.
41-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Gophers. The Vikings have no more timeouts, as you were saying.
They are in
Clock definitely not in their favor.
They're in a victory formation. Yeah, I think they're assuming, again, he may wait just a second before he downs it.
He does take a second before he downs it. And number 27 for the Vikings, Matthew Sustin, comes around. Like, if you're not going to take a knee, I'm going to blast you over.
Clock, look at the clock. They're playing to the crowd, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
The coach is like, clock.
Well, it looks like now this is how it's going to end, 25-20. Another victory formation on second down. Now wait, was that second or third down? Yeah, he took a knee on first down, took a knee on second down. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
One more time. They're feeling very grateful, though.
Well, a tough situation here at the end of the game. What a great game. Played well by both teams.
It was.
And
oh, that's a false start. Call the false start. Call the false start. Wait.
that stops the clock.
It does. Yes. That's a false start. That is.
It looked like it was almost going to be offsides, but number 27, Matthew Sustin, saw the lineman move, so he came around.
Yes. Okay. I mean.
Look at the sticks are down.
Oh, but they're starting the clock. He's rolling the clock now.
Well, how's he already rolling the
No,
clock?
you can't. No,
They
that's a
didn't put
penalty.
No, they're not supposed to.
Why do you roll the clock? That's a penalty, Bill.
You're not supposed to roll the clock till they snap the ball after a penalty, I thought. Oh, well. You know, what can you do? Well, and it probably wouldn't have changed anything anyway.
No,
but
probably
you would have done
not,
correctly. Well, what a on the field, what a well-played game by both teams.
It was.
Well coached by both teams. What do you have for your summary there, Richie?
So just a quick summary.
Scoring summary.
Scoring summary.
You just made a new contraction.
Scummery. Oh, boy.
I like it.
Lamar, four scoring drives. They started off the game with a 7-0 lead. Very quickly in the second half, the GrandPrairie Gophers tied it up at 7. They did score again, missed the extra point, which made it 13-7, and then scored another touchdown, which brought it to 19-7. Lamar came back. They did kick a field goal. They scored a touchdown with a minute and 39-yard drive. Very impressive drive there. And then it went back and forth. The Gophers with a touchdown. Again, the missed two-point conversion. Lamar did cut it close, made it 25-20 with the field goal late in the fourth quarter. Bill, they just came up just short if
we've been able
to
get at least one touchdown instead of one of those two field goals. I want to keep that for the coaches' show.
Please.
But then that would have been a difference in the game, possibly. It still would have been a 4-point difference, so 1 point margin.
Yeah,
but
we can talk about what ifs. Lamar went for
if ifs and ands were possible hands.
Of course,
there'd be no end to dirty dishes, right?
Lamar didn't kick the field goal earlier in the game.
Yeah,
we debated. What do you do?
Twice, yeah.
So, there's 3 points, 6 points. That's a difference in the game.
But again, VFND spirit, the Vikings never gave up to the whole thing.
No doubt.
And again, what a great game. Unfortunately, we come out on the short end. We are back. Is it 1 week?
1 week.
1 week from tonight at Cravens Field. And then the week after that, we get to do a game from Choctaw Stadium.
So,
lots of exciting football left in the season. For Jay Ryan, our executive producer, along with Tim Perry, our statistician, spotters Javi Nehera and Steve Langford, and color commentary tonight by Richie Sherrod, I'm Bill Farley saying VFND.